And like I said, the bigger we get, we got more people coming at us. People are going to try to do bad things to us no matter what because they don't want us to succeed.
Is we grew up so fast that we got so much attention, and you're not allowed to, in the corrupted markets, you're not allowed to go in traps. You're not allowed to pop out of nowhere and help people change their life. You're not allowed to do that.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Go in there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Oh my, why am I way over here? What is going on? Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. It's a wonderful day today, and I hope that all of you are also having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to be doing some clips, I guess you could say. I have some silliness from the Heroes webinar because Jelly Snack shared it to the Discord and was like, is Vincent okay? And that piqued my interest a little bit. I was like, oh my, what's going on with him? We got to go check in. And then I was watching it and I was like, oh my God, this is some cope is what this is. So I clipped several parts of it that I think will be fun for us to go through. They're kind of silly, kind of funny to me. And but before we get into that, I need to address Marty DeGarmo and Chris Johnson like usual. because they've been doing a lot of these streams lately and they've been talking some nonsense. And the theme this week seems to be ONPASSIVE was not an investment. And I think we need to just take a moment and laugh at what Marty says about that and about villages. And we also need to maybe just explain to Marty why it is an investment. And hopefully people from ONPASSIVE will be watching this. Hopefully. The ones that still have some critical thinking skills left. And maybe if they don't understand why ONPASSIVE is being sued for unregistered securities, then this can help them out. Now, it's not like I haven't explained this before. It is not like we haven't deep dove the entire litigation several times, both versions of it, because there was an original version, there was the amended version. We've talked about the Ash trying to get things dismissed and get the case dismissed. We've talked about how that was denied. You know, like we talk about it a lot, and we've definitely touched on a few times in the past why they are being sued and what it all means. But maybe I didn't do a good enough job. So we will just kind of quickly go through it again. My last final attempt at sort of explaining it to Marty. And we're also going to talk about why Marty's excuses here are a little bit silly. A little bit silly as well. Angel is here. Good to see you. It's Wednesday. Yes, it is. Happy Wednesday. Minnesota is having a blizzard. It must be the one that we had. You're probably getting the one that we just had here, and it was not very fun. It wasn't good. I did not have a good few days with that. Hello, Alps. Isn't it to scam it as always? And Lutfer is here with his hand pink wavings. And Mr. Level says, can you feel it? Hello, fabulous bimbos and bimbros from Violet, of course. Good to see you. Heidi ho, naysayer community from Mark B. Glad that you could make it. Speaking silly, they are the original morons. It is true. 500 times. Yes, we have done it 500 times, probably, about that. So the first clip I have is from their stream a few days ago now. Maybe on Sunday as well. I believe it was. And we'll just get right into it.
Oh, anyway, let me.
Where are you, Marty? I don't see you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said let me turn that back on.
We're off to a great start. Marty started off as a ghost.
Anyway, something that we didn't realize till this morning, we did get a picture of Gene taking a tumble. It's the best we could do.
Oh my, that's not Gene.
She's really
now. There we go.
They're so funny.
We didn't want to let her feel left out. Anyway, no, she was okay. I would never laugh if I thought she was hurt, but
maybe Chris should let Ash know what hairstyling products he's using. You think that would help him with the Elvis hair? You know, then they wouldn't have to keep drawing it on him whenever they use him in one of their memes.
When she told the story to Chris, and Chris told me, he could barely tell me. He was laughing the whole time. I could barely understand him. He's laughed the whole freaking time he's telling me. I didn't.
Gina Leva allegedly fell off her chair during a stream, and it is the funniest thing that has happened to ONPASSIVE in years, you would think, by the way that they're reacting.
I didn't even realize because I was on speaker view, so I didn't see Jane.
It's almost like a cartoon where she dropped and her eyeballs were still up here.
Well, it's one of those things where everything you grab goes with you, right? Because you reach out automatically, and you're reaching out, but you're getting everything's coming with you. It's fun. It is
a cup of water. Okay. I think it was water, tea. And when she grabbed the table, that cup went right over and landed right into a box. But she knocked her green screen over. And here's the funny thing. And you got to know Jean. Jean is just a really nice lady. She said she came back up pushing the table and realized her camera was still on. Of course, we didn't see it because we were on speaker view. And I can imagine the look. She was like, oh, my God. And then she turned her camera off. And then what does Gina Leva do? She texts, hey, guess what? I'm still listening, though.
I know.
A trooper.
Typical Jane. Yeah. Yes. I'm on my back. Everything's broken, but hey, I'm still here. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Yep. You fall off your chair, you break your back, but don't worry, she's still watching the webinar. And don't think that it's an accident that that's brought up.
It was funny, but not funny, but we're glad she's not serious.
She's got built-in rose-colored glasses, Chris. I think she's got rose-colored contact lenses.
She's got
cool.
rose color on
Oh, she's got rose-colored glasses on, all right.
her legs too.
Yeah, probably.
Because her legs got caught. Because you're sitting there like you are right now.
Marty fell off his chair, perhaps. She
Poor Surrender has surrendered to unpassive.
said when I wasn't on camera. No, I fell off my chair. You won't see me for 6 months. Okay. Anyway,
I would like to see Marty just leave the chair one time. Like stand up. That would be interesting.
Don't get me going, dude.
For a second, when he didn't show up at the beginning, I was like, oh my, is he out of the chair? Is this the first time that we're seeing Marty out of the chair? Weird. And then he was like, no, I just turned my camera off. And I was like, oh, well, that's not as fun, is it? Are they millionaires yet? Not yet. Soon, though, I'm sure.
anyway, happy Sunday. Like I said, today at 2 o'clock, go to the top
Yeah, it was
live,
Sunday. Okay.
and you're going to see the OTEC winners. Always get confused. Winners will also be on some channels.
Heroes.
Oh yeah, heroes. They were winners, then there were heroes, then there's OTEC, bro. Forgive me, okay?
It's
Yeah.
And they were like, we can't call ourselves winners anymore.
It's heroes, not winners. Used to be winners. Now it's heroes.
a lot of changes.
Okay.
Co-founder, OES,
Co-founder, we founder. Well,
lots of
That's your company. It's Ash's naming of his products. Like he's the one that named them. I like it when they make fun of him.
things happening. You got to think about this journey, how many things we've actually gone through, how many changes, you guys think back about the time where he had to shut it down for like 14 weeks to revamp everything.
14 weeks? You think it was shut down for 14 weeks and that was it? Okay.
And he just kept going. And patience, I'm going to bring this up. I had a talk with Robin Noble last night. And Robin is never wrong. She's a good spirit. And she said, I just don't understand sometimes. And we know people are out pitching other things. No big deal. That's what they do.
They're still upset about Vibe.
But they're praising these other people. Whoa, it's in a process. We're waiting. But they kind of forgot about what they really got into. And it made a lot of sense to me. So
the entire time, I don't know what Marty is doing with his tongue. I think Salami Nugget is about to have an aneurysm if Marty sticks his tongue out one more time on a live stream. Like it's like he cannot keep it in his mouth.
like I said, waiting is
And that's one of those things where it's like, what is he doing? Why is he moving his tongue like that? What is going on? He's not eating. He's not speaking. What is he doing?
waiting is a privilege, if you ask me.
So the rest of this stream now is going to be basically them, along with everyone in the Clips of the Heroes webinar that we're going to be watching, trying to spin, again, all the negative stuff that Unpassive has gone through as a privilege, as a good thing, as how it should have happened, how God intended it to, even. As soon as Ash flips the switch, this will be massive, Jerry Lee Lewis DeGarmo says.
Especially for this company. Because I know this company, the only company, the waiting is going to pay off and it's going to build a whole livelihood for your whole life. So all the places.
See, the thing is with Unpassive, the waiting for 7 years while they were going through issues is not eventually going to pay off. It's not the same as when you actually do work at something for 7 years, Like these people haven't built anything other than maybe a social media following, which you didn't need Unpassive for.
We have a gift of
That's right.
lack of memory. And I know that sounds horrible, but I'm going to tell you why it's a gift. When my mother passed away, that was one of the worst days of my life. As time goes on, the feeling of that sadness fades down a little. I'm always going to remember her. She's always there and things come up, I remember. But thank God your memory fades. It's on purpose. We would get nowhere if it never died down. That also is a bad thing, I'll tell you.
So it's interesting. Marty's thing is talking about how you don't remember the negative because your memory protects you.
Everybody that's been online and trying to work online, make an income, memories fade. I'm going to give you an example. We're in a business, myself 6 years, this one, but online 20. And the first 5.
Oh, for fuck's sake, not a damn story again.
I would get in the business. I was a good student. I did what they told me to do, but it didn't work. It was very temporary. Next business, I did it again. And for some reason, I thought the next shiny object would be different. But reality was, if I don't learn how to do this, nobody will do it for you. No one. They'll give you an attaboy. They'll pat you on the back.
And again, how is that different from him then leaving his last company and joining ONPASSIVE because it's the next shiny object? It's not. But there is a difference for Marty, right? Because he joined ONPASSIVE so early and he's positioned himself so close to Ash. He's like at the very top. He's in the 1%. And he brought his team there with him. So he already had a downline. So he's put himself in a position where he is in the 1% in this company. He kind of figured it out, as I keep saying. That's the only way you can be successful in an MLM, is if you join it at the very beginning and then you're willing to fuck over a lot of people to be successful.
They might even put you on some kind of list or give you a star or a happy face. But reality is you're not doing any better. And that's the part of that industry. And I don't care if it's email marketing, dropshipping, MLM, affiliate marketing, they're all kind of the same. Until you get the skills, you're not going nowhere.
Marty, I've already explained to you why you claiming that ONPASSIVE is not an MLM doesn't matter. Because by all definitions, like the FTC, the SEC, here in Canada, the definition, like everywhere, the definition of what an MLM is describes what you're doing in ONPASSIVE. And this is kind of your issue as well with the investment thing, which you're going to get into soon. The name and what you call it doesn't matter. All right. Just because you don't want it to be an investment doesn't mean that it's not one. And like I said, you're doing it here.
And
but we don't call ourselves an MLM. We're not an MLM. Doesn't matter that you claim you're not one based on the definition of what an MLM is by all of the country's regulatory agencies, from here to Europe to the US, and I'm in Canada for those that don't know. By all of our definitions of what an MLM is, that describes what you're doing with ONPASSIVE. And it's the same with the investment thing. Like I said, we'll get into that.
As we've been moving in ONPASSIVE, and something you would think, let's just assume would take 4 years to get done. We don't know, but let's just assume.
Oh,
but
Lord.
we wound up on the 7th year.
Oh, my. Not another 4 years.
Here's my point of view of that. One is, I can't imagine any.
That would be 11 years of a startup. I don't even know how you could feel happy saying, I've been in a startup with this company for 7 years.
Other company in the world that people prayed for as much as they prayed for this one and Mr. Mufara. None, ever. Why? Because we never.
The fuck does that matter? Wait, what does that have to do with anything? People pray for ONPASSIVE and Ash Mufara the most out of every other company, and that somehow legitimizes it? Because you do a lot of faith manipulation? Weird way of legitimizing it, but okay.
A group like this that everybody gets together and say, make sure you pray for Mr. Mufara. Make sure we pray for the success of the company.
Well, your prayers have not been getting answered for the last 7 years, so what now?
Well, what happened?
Yeah, what did happen, Marty? Obviously, something's gone terribly wrong. So how are you going to twist it now to make this a positive thing in your cult?
If things went like we thought they should, we could have been running a year ago, September. But we didn't. We stumbled and fell and something happened. Let me tell you what happened. When you pray to God.
Well, we've already told everyone what happened. I feel like you're not even doing a good job of that. You're not really explaining to people about Mohammed Kamal and ONPASSIVE Technologies LLC and their investigation by Dubai police and their frozen assets because of the Bank of the UAE. Like you haven't done any of that, which that would explain why people don't have their own Connect commissions, right? And you don't even really explain the alleged 14-week migration that you had. And why that all actually took place, right? Nothing is transparent here. So let's see how you now take this and twist it into something positive. Because that's what cults do.
To take over and do things, help us, make this work. Please make it work. He's going to make it work the way he sees fit.
By he, Marty is no longer talking about Ash Mufareh. By he, now Marty DeGarmo is talking about God himself, the man up above.
You know why? He's God. And we don't understand it while we're down here, measly humans, and go, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe that happened. But hindsight, 2020, thank God it happened.
God meant for all of that to happen.
It may not make sense when you're looking forward, but as it passes you, you go, you know what? If this didn't happen here or that didn't happen there, we would be with some people that probably shouldn't be here. Some people left for good. I don't think it's that many. I know some people veered off. I'm going to go to another part of this. But some people left for good. Good. Some people were forced.
So much for being family, huh?
Forced out. Better yet, because we're about to go where Ash wanted to go many years ago. But it wasn't time. Not just because the brains aren't there. Things didn't mesh because you can't have somebody at the top with a vision, love, and caring for others. And in between him and us, they don't feel the same way. Never will work. Ash can't do it all by himself. He delivers the vision, and then as they're building it, he's watching it going, that's not quite what I had in mind.
Is he watching it? Is he? How much is he watching it? Could you let us know how much he was watching over the ONPASSIVE Technologies LLC office and what they were up to, Marty? Because, you know, he apparently took back his business and had full control of it before these charges and this investigation started. So Ash might want to really think about whether or not he wants to say that he's had a close eye on everything going on here for real. And when it started. Hello, sweet goth. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great day.
It's not quite what I had in mind. You're doing what? Why are we doing this? What are we doing here? That's what happened. And found out later, some of it was probably deliberate. But Ash sat back.
Gina Lima's comments get weirder every day. She's verging on barking mad. Oh, just wait until I show you the clip of her on the heroes from this day.
Thank God. I'm sure he had long talks with God. What's going? What are we? And it started to come clear.
Yeah, God is leading this. They had a very serious talk with God to tell them what to do. And God made it very clear to them. Get sued by the SEC. Don't pay any of your employees. Don't pay any of your bills. See what happens.
This is this problem. This is this problem. This is this problem. You need to go over here and move on from there. That's what happened. Now, let me go to another part of this. In the 6 years that I've been here, I don't know, but I would think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
Going on 7 years, but anyway, continue.
15. Maybe 15 to 20 shiny objects popped up that I know about. And because of memory.
Yeah, because they don't exist if you don't know about them, right?
Vanishes down. It smooths out. God did it on purpose. You don't want to keep a memory so vivid that you can't go on. Narelle had bad things happen in her life.
This is cute. Marty's like, Queen talks a lot about stuff to do with psychology and the brain. I'm going to try it out on my channel and see how it goes. The problem is Marty's brain is more smoothed out than anyone's. And he's a little too smooth-brained to talk about these topics.
If it was so vivid, she would be paralyzed. A lot of us had the same thing. I had my two older brothers got killed within 2 years apart. I'm like 9, 10 years old, devastated the whole family. It was painful to live in my family for at least 4 or 5 years. But time made a difference. And I remember my mom saying, time will make a difference. It doesn't go away, but it miles down so you can live. Here's what happened to founders.
He says to someone with a trauma disorder.
And I understand it. Shiny object comes up. Many of us.
What his whole angle here is a shiny object comes up and everyone forgets that shiny objects suck, you know, because their memory smooths out, apparently, as he says, because God's trying to protect them from their vivid memory. So they join it or something. And I'm like, but then again, is that why they're here?
Are desperate. Many of us went back to work or got a part-time job, and that's fantastic. I can take a Mike Ellis right now. He's working a young man's job every day.
He's working a young man's job. I don't know what does that mean? Like he's in like what, labor work? I'm assuming. Would it be something like that? Is that what a young man's job would be? Something that's like physically exerting? I'm assuming. Because like, surely that's the only way that would make sense, right?
Did he want to do that? No, he was hoping it would, but it didn't. But
He's flipping burgers? Yeah, would that be like a teenager job then? Like what? What would that be like? Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. I don't know how Marty categorizes these jobs.
The worst part of that is because memories fade, maybe hundreds, if not thousands of us had jumped into a shiny object in the intent, I'll make a little money before, and I'll come back. And I'll bring that pile of cash with me. Newsflash. You didn't know how to market when you got here. Nothing happened that would have showed you how to do that.
In 7 years? That's not a flex, Marty. Because here's the funny thing is that on other days, you're out here preaching to everyone that since they've been with ONPASSIVE for 7 years, they are actually marketing gurus now. I mean, technically, all you guys have been doing for 7 years is marketing. Even Ash, right? So it's kind of funny how now all of a sudden you're like, well, you've been here for 7 years. We haven't taught you shit. But then like the next day you're going to be like, oh, well, you've been here for 7 years. We've taught you so much, helped you do so much personal development. You don't want to give up on all that now, do you? You'll be able to be successful because of everything we've taught you over the last 7 years. So why are you now saying that you haven't taught them shit? You didn't know how to market when you showed up here, and you don't know how to market now. By the way, we're all about marketing here at our business you've been in for 7 years. Obviously, we're doing a great job. Like,
when you go to
whatever happened to their carnivore diet, I feel like they're still on it because every once in a while they will make reference to like eating a lot of meat, but I don't feel like they're even following it like they once were. And they're definitely not promoting it. Like that only lasted for a few weeks. Maybe they stopped because I called them out and was like, you have no business doing this. I don't know. But they don't do the Monday carnivore diet streams anymore, and they haven't for ages. I think it only lasted like a month and a half tops, and then it was over.
To do another shiny object, whether it's 1 week, 5 weeks, or 5 years, your skill level didn't change. And by the way, 1 month, 2 months, 5 years.
But Marty became a marketing guru in the 20 years he was doing it. He promises.
Industry changed. What worked in marketing 5 years ago doesn't work as efficient now.
Yeah, you know, how the email stuff hasn't worked since the 2000s, apparently. But then the rest of us are like, you mean the 90s?
Email marketing back in early 2000s, middle 2000s, you could clean up if you did it. Clean up.
In the 2000s, you say? Oh, yeah? Okay. You do realize that's when like social medias were popping already, right?
Email marketing now, it's a joke. You could do it, but you need to have 10 million names and emails. You need to go through all the crap and you'll get one. You get another. You get another. It's like digging through earth to get gold. You ever watch Gold Rush? Truckloads of dirt is moved and they come up with a little container this big with gold in it and they're jumping up and down. That's what happens at MLM. That's what happens.
But the gold is actually worth a lot more than the truckload of dirt. Whereas in MLMs, everything is worthless.
Happens outside of this company.
You dig through dirt to find coal. And then you're like, what the hell? I thought I was looking for gold. That's more of an analogy with digging through dirt and MLMs.
The difference is you can't afford, I definitely can't, to lose money while we're waiting for this to do the right thing. And by the way, some of us, maybe not on purpose, some I think was on purpose, contributed to the slowing down of the process.
Oh, did they? How did they do that, Marty?
Example, throwing a post out there with arms around a president or whatever of a country saying this person's in business with us. Yeah, it sounds funny and it probably gets people to sign up, or you could tell people pay money and you can invest and make so much money in 6 months.
I believe that myself and the Recovering Hunbot have both shown a clip of you and Ash and Red and Chris all on a stream together in which you were all talking about how you were getting governments to sign up for ONPASSIVE, and allegedly you had even gotten the Dubai police to agree to work with you. So once again, you're all upset here about other people doing things in this company that they only feel is okay that they do it because the top people like Ash and yourself do it first. If you're going to do webinars where you tell the O founders we're hooking up with all the governments here, of course then afterwards they're going to post up pictures of Ash hugging the government officials. What the fuck do you mean? That's the exact kind of marketing that's going to lead to. So if you didn't want that to happen, why did you come out here and all lie to all of them and tell them all that you were partnering with all of the governments and that other countries' governments were coming to you and asking you to use your services because they were so amazing? You and Ash did that whole tour for like 2 years going on about that. On your 360 webinars all the time talking that nonsense. And now you want to complain because a few people said that Ash was at the Trump inauguration. I'm assuming you watched my live stream on that then? But it's like they do it because you do it. If you want to get mad at someone for lying about these things, get mad at Ash, not the O founders. Get mad at yourself. Say this to yourself in the damn mirror, would you?
We're not an investment. We never were. But do you think that helped? Do you think that helped the company? No. Many years ago, the SEC came in because of us being an investment. We never were. We never thought about it. And I wouldn't be here if we were. I did invest with
Marty, you bought into ONPASSIVE for $97, and then you were told you would make money in return. What do you call that, Marty? As someone that knows so much about investments, what would you call that? Especially if you're supposed to make more money in return.
Investment things with crypto, and guess what? All of them are out of business, and some of them.
Right, he wasn't at the inauguration. He really wasn't. But there were 3 or 4 posts of people being like, Ash was right next to Trump. It was so cool. So I had to do a stream where I called them out, and I was like, don't do that. What are you doing? And I showed one of the posts on the thumbnail, and then you guys were like, Queen, don't do that. They're going to think Ash was there. And I was like, it's not me. I promise I didn't make that picture. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, it was a little ridiculous. It was, again, just another example. But it's like, and the reason why that happened is because for days before that, in the streams and in the Facebook groups, they were all talking about how Trump was going to shut down the SEC and they were then going to win the case. And the way that they put it made it seem like Ash had something to do with Trump and Project 2025 and their plan. Like, it was very bizarre. And so for people that don't speak English and they're seeing this stuff or trying to listen to these webinars that go on these fucking rants, because you know how they get on the rants, right? And they're talking about these themes, I feel like part of it was a misinterpretation. And then one person kind of said, oh, Ash is going to be at the inauguration, and then it just went, right? But the thing is that if you knew anything about marketing and promotion of businesses, you would understand how these things happen, which you should have somewhat of a knowledge about things like this and how that can happen and how misinformation is spread and all of that stuff if you're going to be in marketing. And this is why it is not the greatest idea to just have random people market your business, especially when you don't have like certain marketing materials that they have to use. You don't have any laws. You don't have a compliance area. You have nothing. So people are just running wild, right? Like they're told, oh, read between the lines of Ash's speeches and then interpret it how you want, basically. And then when they do, Marty gets mad at them. It's like, okay, but you've created this situation. You've created all of this misinformation yourselves. And it's like, now you can't really point the fingers at the people underneath you who are looking up to you, who are looking to you for how to do this. Right? Like Marty wants to be Mr. Marketing Guru out here, but he can't take 2 seconds to think about how all of his live streams with Ash talking about how they're hooked up with the government and all of that could maybe lead to people then posting marketing materials like that. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Marty. You're ridiculous. My unpassive mate told me his $97 was never an investment. He then told me he hoped to make a passive income from his $97 payment without ever needing to do anything himself. Exactly. And we're going to get into what's an investment. Why does the SEC consider it an investment? What do they base it off of? And all that fun stuff. Ash wouldn't even have cleared the security clearance to be a sweeper at the inauguration. Actually, probably true. Probably true. I bet you they do security clearances on anyone working. I mean, any of those events, right? You would think. Even the workers probably have to have no criminal records and all that. That would make sense to me if you're going to be at an event with the president. And I mean, yeah, Ash would pop up as having a fraud case right now. So it would be like, no, you're not going to make it. Do they just see a brown person and think they were Ash because that was like the CEO of Google? Maybe. But they also like did make actual images where they added Ash to like his head on top of somebody else's head who was actually next to Ash.
Are in prison. Some of the owners. So let's be smart. Let's stay focused, stay together. Try to remember how bad it really was. I hurt somebody's feelings about a year ago, and I wasn't trying to. I just wanted to bring up reality. And this person said, hey, Marty, I found something we can make money while we're waiting. Really? Now, I already knew. No, we didn't.
If you on my channel and go to the live streams and you scroll back a bit, like back to right around the inauguration time, you'll see the thumbnail. I didn't change it. I kept the picture on there for a reason. It was for a moment exactly like this, when I could see, if you want proof, that they did edit Ash's face on someone's body there. It's in my thumbnail. So,
Didn't. I knew he didn't. I see all of it. I joined all of them.
All of them? Not mine. Now he's been in all of the MLMs. There's like a million of them. Like right now, I'm trying to do a post every Monday deep diving in MLM and like the psychology behind why it's a cult and everything, you know, like their manipulation tactics and stuff. And the list of MLMs that I have is pages. I'm like, well, I'm not going to run out on a Monday for a very, very long time. Years.
And everything that comes up. Why? Because I want to see it from the inside to see how badly people are going to get ripped off. Not one have I joined and said, wow, this is really a good idea. Zero. That you
Zero. Okay.
You could get in and have no skills. Now, there are some that get in and say, just pay so much, start off small, and you'll eventually make money. Yeah.
And they're not going to teach you any skills either. Remember, they didn't teach you shit in 7 years.
Yeah. If you're Methuselah, if you live for a couple hundred years, I don't think that's going to happen. I could be wrong. But my point is, we are in what you're looking for. Let's do our part not to make problems. Say the truth. It's not an investment. Never was one. I wouldn't be here if it was. I don't want to be an investment.
Ooh, Marty, I got some real bad news for you, bud. Some real bad news for you in a few minutes.
I want cold, hard products, cold, hard commissions.
So you think that just because there's products and commissions, it's now not an investment? You do realize that commissions make it more of an... Never mind. We'll get into it.
Soft-hearted, big, unbelievable CEO. I got everything. I won the freaking lottery. People talk about cash. What are we going to make? That's such a joke to me. I want you all to think about something really, really easy, okay? Let's say we have 10 products in a year.
If it's such a joke to you, then I'm sure you would have no problem then donating the $8,000 monthly that Ash Mufara was paying you to promote this to some of the founders out here who are in need. Right, Marty? Because you're not in this for the money. You don't care about the money, right? And you say people are writing you every single day with all these different problems, especially financial issues and health issues. $1,000 US for one of the people in PNG or South Africa, that's a lot of money. That could go a long way for them, like you keep bringing up in your illegal income claims for every country, right? So if you don't care about the money, why don't you actually help some of these people like you said you would then?
No, say 12. Each one of those products are multi-billion-dollar
Hey,
industry.
Joe.
Let's just assume we're worth...
I hope that goes well, Joe.
$10 billion in a year. Oh, that can't be. Bullcrap. Let's just say we're worth $10 billion. And let's say 25 to 50% of that is paid out in commissions.
Let's say that if you say, let's say, and then start talking like that, it's also an illegal income claim.
Will life be the same in Fiji? Will it be the same in parts of Africa? No. It'll be better. We're too close. We spent too much time. We take care of each other. Look, Ash said flat out, he would never tell anybody what they can and can't do. That's not why I get upset. It's not why he gets upset. We're upset because we don't want you to get ripped off. All you really need when you're desperate, waiting for the job of a business.
You mean you don't want them to put their money elsewhere because soon you're going to ask them all for money to buy in again and to buy OConnect, and you want to make sure that they have their money available for that instead. That's what you really do.
Your lifetime is go out and do a shiny object and lose a couple $100 more. Why?
Like Sweet says, he just pulls this out of his ass. He does. Don't you think, I want you to think about this. These great ideas out there that you've been approached with, how come they didn't invite me, Mike, and Dan? Because they don't know you, motherfucker. They're my friend. What do you mean? What? How come they didn't invite you, Mike, and Dan. Like, okay. Why, are you the most specialist people in all of ONPASSIVE? So if the three of you aren't invited, then it doesn't matter? Those people, they don't want people to work their MLMs because they didn't invite me, Mike, and Dan. Wow. Wow. And there you have it. That's what Marty thinks. He thinks him, Mike, and Dan are the fucking top of the heap over here. Everyone in the world should strive to be exactly like Marty DeGarmo, Dan Street, and good old Mike Ellis.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Otherwise, you ain't shit. Well, it can't be shit if they didn't invite us. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Yeah, Mr. Top of the food chain over here, you know? Top of the food pyramid. A big lion because of his carnivore diet and because of all the lying that he does. Look at you. Just, you know, put your ego on display some more. Really tell these people, you're not the marketing guru. Me, Dan, and Mike are. Why wouldn't they have invited us then if it's so great? So why don't you tell us, Marty? Why wouldn't they have invited you then?
I feel hurt. Can I tell you why they didn't? Because I'd slap them around a little bit and say, who are you kidding?
I'm still waiting for you to come over here and slap me around, Marty. Come on. Come on, Marty. Come over here and try to slap me around and say, who the fuck are you kidding? Come do a debate with me about why ONPASSIVE is great, and I'll give you all the reasons why it's a scam, and we'll see who wins with evidence and who can talk better. If you want to talk about slapping people around.
Who are you kidding? You don't want to come tell me? You don't want to come tell Mike? I'm getting my camera focused. Of course not. Marty, were you invited? No, why? You know why?
Because I don't fucking know you. Again, who the hell are you?
I don't play that. Homie, Marty don't play that. No, I'm serious. I don't play that. Listen, I care too much for a guy that's had his butt handed
Gangster Marty over here
to him, walking through hell many times.
Fake gangsters are my favorite. I grew up with a bunch of those little fuckers in high school. All right, I went to high school between the year 2000 and 2004. All of the boys were little gangster wannabes. Okay? That's how everyone acted. Everyone wanted to be black back then. Everybody. Where I grew up, it was a huge thing. And they've always been a joke. Even when I was in grade 9 and everyone was wearing pants and those fake chains that they got at Claire's, which usually us girls would go to get our ears pierced. But, you know, big old Bobby over here thought he was a gangster because he went to Claire's and got a fucking a pendant with a $sign on it that's half the size of his chest, you know? And then they ran around town like, yo, man, what's up? Yo, I'm in a gang, man. I'm in the Crips. And I was like, bitch, we're not even in Toronto. We're in Napanee in Kingston, Ontario. Like, what gangs are you running with? Get out of here. Go home. And then I look on YouTube and there's like all of them again. Like, what's going on? So I love being a fake gangster. It makes me feel at home.
For me to be wimpy and walk away. And by the way, you get off privately, you want to hear about bad news? You want to see somebody that's living like you wouldn't believe?
Okay.
Okay? But I'm not thinking about today. I'm walking and talking and being what I'm going to be.
Oh, no, Marty has it harder than everybody. He's the real victim here. The tweet says, slap us around, Marty. You need to get up out of your chair to catch us. That's right. We can definitely outrun him at least, right?
And money will not be an issue. I can guarantee that. I made money in bad organizations. What am I going to do in this gold mine? Off the chart. What am I going to do to help us?
And again, it's a very weird flex to be like, I've been a part of a lot of bad scams. I made money in tons of scams and organized crime. It was bad.
Other people,
Come trust me with your money today.
everything I possibly can. I want this movement to go through like a tidal
Right.
wave.
Come slap me around. Be swimming with the fishes.
I would love to see in 5 to 10 years, if I'm still here, rocking on a porch with friends and family and going, wow, thank you, God. I got to be part of that. Yeah. So I'm done preaching. Once I realized it's Sunday, I realized I can preach. Right? Chris gave me permission.
Oh, God.
And I did it.
You have Chris to blame.
Stay the course.
Chris, why did you do that? Why did you let him make a fool of himself like this? This is your fault.
Don't think Marty's telling anybody anything. I'm not telling you what to do. But don't bring it up to me and think I'm going to think it's a good idea. By the way, the guy that did that a couple of years ago, all said and done, he had a beautiful website. He had all the stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, so what do you do next? What do you mean? Well, you're in this great thing. You're going to make money while we wait for the company to launch. What's your plan?
What's the plan here? What are the O founders supposed to be doing here? You even just said yourself that the last 7 years you haven't taught them anything. They don't even know anything more about marketing than they did 7 years ago. Like, what are they doing here? What they're supposed to go to webinars and check the OES every day? You think that's more instructions than what the other MLMs give to people? At least the other MLMs will say, make a list of 100 people to reach out to every day. Make 5 posts, 3 of them to do with personal, 2 of them that are business. Reach out to people to sell the products. And then they also have the products to sell, by the way. It's like when you guys get on your high horse, like, oh, well, we're better than all the other MLMs. It's like, well, you might want to actually make your MLM first. Have some products first before you go talking that. All right, homie, I don't play that.
I'll make a few hundred and come in. Okay, yeah, how? Well, I'm going to share it. You're going to what?
Yeah, right. They just go to trivia nights every night. That's what being an on-passive is. Apparently, they don't learn anything there either.
You're going to share it with who? Other founders? That'd be cross-recruiting. So you don't want to do that. So now what are you going to do?
Isn't that the whole point of on-passive? Was to make an echo chamber where everyone was going to be cross-recruiting in their MLMs? It's supposed to be for other people's small businesses. Did you think that there would be no cross-recruiting? Like, that's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? To be like, we want to create a business that helps MLMs run their business, and we want all of them to only hang out in our back office to use the internet, but none of them are to be cross-promoting unless it's on passive. So in other words, you want everyone to quit their MLMs and come and join on passive. Like, just say it, get it over with.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you think you have a list because you know all the people on passive? That's not your list. Nobody, you don't own the list of non-passive.
Is there a list? Is there a list, Marty? Do you have the list, Marty? Have Ash and you been selling this list, Marty? I know where to look for it, Marty. I'll go over. I will search everywhere. And I swear to God, if I find an on-passive list being sold to scammers on the internet, I'm going to snap.
People said that to me. Bullcrap. We paid for our list. Trust me. Ask Dan.
Oh, did you?
But the point is,
that's interesting. Do you know how much you paid for it? Where'd you get it?
No, you don't own the people on passive. I met a lot of people. Irina.
They're sold on the internet in places you're supposed to go. Let's just say that.
Alice, Yusuf, all these people going by. I have no right.
It's his little black book.
to plug a business with these people. That's cross recruiting. And if somebody tells you I did it to my own list, I'm going to give you an example.
Okay, so what you're telling me then is if someone built a team before they came to on-passive and then they joined on-passive, those people are no longer their people. They're now on-passive people. That sucks. That's not how that's supposed to go. They should still then be able to leave on passive, and then those people should still be their people. Pay very close attention here if you're in on passive, because Marty's telling you what this business actually is, and it has nothing to do with promoting businesses. And there won't be any other businesses joining it. Only individuals to sell on passive.
When you could get pending positions and buy them, once you get pending positions, you're selling them to people years ago. Everybody's on everybody's list. Nobody has a private list. Unless you have 2 or 3 people you invited privately, you didn't do any more than that. Go ahead, share it with them. Before you knew them in on passive, that's not a list. It's the same people you got into every business. So
that's their list then. That would be their downline list. Right? Their list of contacts, their list of 100 people or whatever. Because it would have started as that before they came to ONPASSIVE, right? They would have been in an MLM before that. That was like, write a list, build a team. They build a team there, and then they come to ONPASSIVE with those people. And now they're no longer their people.
Cool. I want people, I know you're hurting. Let's just pray that it goes quicker, smoother, and right.
As smooth as Marty's brain.
Quicker, smoother, and right. I can't wait to see Asmi Farah with a big smile on his face as he's standing on the top of that mountain, and we're right at the peak of it, coming on to him, walking up.
Coming on to him, oh my.
To him. That's what I can't wait for. This is what I want. This is what we've been looking for. Yes, it took time.
Not coming on.
11-day walking journey for the Egyptians to go to the land of Canaan. It took them 40 years.
Oh my God. Will you stop bringing that up? It's not at all the same. And at the rate we're going, fucking ONPASSIVE is going to take 40 years, damn it.
Why? Because they prayed to go to the right place at the right time. And God said, okay, it's there. But you guys, you women, you don't deserve to go. I'm going to walk.
Yeah, you women.
You run in circles until you die off.
Try to hide your misogyny a little bit next time, Marty.
Well, we had a filter too. And people got filtered out that should not be here. And it's not because of their religion. It's not because of their color. It's not because they're tall, fat, skinny, no hair, too much hair, Chris. Any of that.
No, it's because they did organized crime in Dubai with Mohammed Kamal, isn't it?
It's because they did wrong or they shouldn't be with us. Many people come in, but there's a reason why there were founders and people that started off this business. You're here because you're supposed to be. No more, no less than anybody else that's here.
Yes, it's your higher calling to be here and ONPASSIVE and wait for them to launch for 7 years. It's like, if that's what your God wants for you, maybe get a new one. Just a suggestion.
None. We all have a reason to be here. And I believe the longer the journey to...
And Marty makes money by none of you leaving. So he really hopes that his reason of staying here and his passionate speech here will be enough to make you stay here. So he can make money off you.
The bigger this company will be. Here's why. If this journey was 30 days, how much passion would you have to talk to other people? 0.
So now it's like, we were here for 7 years and all of this stuff went wrong because we needed 7 years of wasted time to build up the passion that we need to give to this thing. Interesting way of twisting it, I must say.
But 7 years, that door opens and products are coming out that we're proud of. And Linda Geppetta walks up and her friends see her and go, I see you got a new car and all. How'd you do that? You know that company? Yeah. The one I said no to.
It's funny how you bring up having a fancy car. Marty thinks of making money and the first thing he thinks of is getting a fancy car. He doesn't need anything else. I mean, Ash pays him to promote this.
Yeah. It's slamming. Can I get in? Of course you can. They're going to see the difference too. You'll be taller. You'll walk faster.
You'll be taller. Now ONPASSIVE launching is also going to give you height. It was going to cure cancer at one point, but I guess they decided that they couldn't claim that anymore. So now it just gives you a few inches to your height, not your tiny dinger.
Telling you, once the abundance of success and you start to see the end of this, we're coming out into the light, you'll be shining. If you didn't take the journey, you wouldn't be shining. I believe that. A lot of people came a long ways from quiet, no camera, won't even put their name in, to dancing queens.
Now they've come a long way. 15 minutes ago, not even, They haven't learned shit in 7 years. They didn't know shit about marketing 7 years ago, and they don't know anything now. They haven't learned anything in the 7 years that they were there, but now they've come a long way.
People will talk to anybody, anywhere. That's about to happen, everybody. We're about to be part of something that we've been dreaming for years.
That's about to happen? Yes, right now. Nobody can talk to anyone outside of their own country. I really wish that there was a way that, like, I could talk to people that are not in Canada. Like, if only ONPASSIVE would invent that for us, that would be so cool. If I could, like, somehow communicate with people that are in, like, the US, you know, Africa, Europe, the UK, New Zealand. I mean, that would just be so amazing. I think it would be so cool if something was invented to do that. Hopefully ONPASSIVE launches soon.
And Ash too, by the way. Anyway, that's all I got. Chris, what do you got?
Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure it's all you got?
I think
I'm
so.
afraid to say something because everything I say, you'll build another building on it. So I'm just going to.
Which is a little interesting. Chris is scared to speak because then Marty will go into a big rant again. Interesting. Joe says 7 years. Ash claimed he had 50 products ready to go in October 2020. What happened, Marty? That's what we've all been wondering. You know, what happened to the products between then and then September of 2023, you know? And then what happened between then and now? They haven't said anything other than someone stole something and they were migrating to a new website. Right? Now there's 500 products. Wait, we can talk to people outside of where we live? Wow, I can't wait for that. Yes, we can hear other people's voices. I know, but that would be so cool. Ash is like the captain of Noah's Ark. That's right. Just bringing everyone together globally. Globally.
I set him up, folks. If you don't realize that, I set him up. I pop things in his brain. I don't know that I'm doing it, but it's always good.
Yeah, don't do that again, Chris. Don't do that again. But you see, Marty wasn't done. Marty wasn't done talking about how ONPASSIVE is not an investment. And no one's done talking about the problems, the issues. I guess we're no longer calling them wrinkles to try to sugarcoat it. We're just calling them issues, problems now again. It's funny when they forget their own language. So he decided to go on about it again.
People brought in people. Now, some of them were brought in under misconception. This thing about an investment. We never were an investment. We'll never be an investment. If it was an investment, I would not have come.
Oh.
No way.
So, Marty, if after you're done your little speech here, I can prove to you that ONPASSIVE is an investment, especially as it is defined by the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is the place that's suing you for this, right? Then will you leave ONPASSIVE? Because you just stated this past week, all right, this is just a couple days ago, you just stated if ONPASSIVE is an investment, I don't want to be here. I wouldn't have joined. So I'll let you finish, and then I'll have a little, time to prove it to you. And if I do enough of a good job of that, you have to leave ONPASSIVE. Because I don't know how after this, you will then be able to twist it and go, oh, well, this is the only investment that I'm okay with. Because I'm not going to let you do that. So I really hope that after today, you're ready to walk away from this investment. and show us that you're a man of your true word. And that if this is an investment, you want not a thing to do with it. Because, you know, you're a trustworthy, ethical, clean guy, right? And you're a man of your word, I'm sure. So let's continue.
I did the so-called investment. And what I got back was my butt handed to me on a tray, okay? You don't make anything in those.
Oh, if you thought your butt was handed to you then.
A few people do, but you don't even know who they are. Trust me. This company we paid 97 to put skin in the game. And Ask kept it low so that even, think about this for a minute. You look in Zambia and all that, they can't afford 97. But a village can, or two villages.
Oh my, not two villages. Villages? Okay.
Team up together and get a position. Because one position will change a whole village.
So the villages are supposed to get together and team up so that they can all split on one $97 position. And then what? They're supposed to team up to also pay for the O Connect, and then it will change their whole village. Not city, not town, village.
No doubt about it. If you're looking at the numbers. Absolutely. And then you could get another position, and magnify this.
This comment right here. We are in it to win it. Congratulations. Thanks. And God bless our CEO, Mr. Ash, the man sent from God to help the humanity. There is time for everything. Keep cool. You're actually running out of time. Yeah. You're running out of time. A month from now, you'll be lucky if you have a year left of ONPASSIVE. So, you know, your time is running out. You might want to start panicking. If I were in ONPASSIVE right now, I would panic.
Don't panic.
2 villages could feed Marty for maybe a day or 2. Yes. So as you heard, Marty would not be here. He said it a few times. These are 2 examples. He said it all week long. So I thought we would just take a little moment and really get into, did Marty DeGarmo and O founders make an investment with ONPASSIVE? Because remember, if I prove this to be an investment, along with the SEC who already did, but whatever, Marty, you said he didn't want to be here. So then I'm going to have to assume you're here against your will. That would be awful. My gosh, what are you doing? Trust me, no doubt about it. The 2 things that make me run for the hills when I hear them, right? With them, it's really a trust me, bro. So let's start at the very beginning, Marty. What is the SEC? The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, is the U.S. government agency responsible for protecting investors, enforcing securities laws, and regulating financial markets. This is why it's a good place that you want to exist. They make sure companies properly disclose information about investments so people know what they're getting into. And you should be very, very weary of anyone in government that wants to stop that from happening to big corporations. Especially when they hire Elon Musk to work alongside them. I'm just saying. This helps prevent fraud, scams, and deceptive financial schemes. Without the SEC, the USA would be like Dubai. It would be a fair trade place. You would pop up million call centers. And it would not only be Indians calling people to rip people off. Then it would be known as, oh, well, if you get someone with an American accent or an Indian accent, it's probably a scam. I don't think the U.S. wants that, so make sure you protect your SEC. Let's get into the Securities Act of 1933. It's very important. It's often referred to as the Truth in Securities Law. The Securities Act of 1933 has 2 basic objectives. And this is a screenshot from the actual SEC website, of course. It requires that investors receive financial and other significant information concerning securities being offered for public sale. And it prohibits deceit, misrepresentations, and other fraud in the sale of securities. Now, the purpose of registration is important to know here. A primary means of accomplishing these goals is the disclosure of important financial information through the registration of securities. If a business does not want to register their securities, it's usually because they have something to hide. This information enables investors, not the government, to make informed judgments about whether to purchase a company's securities. The investors in this case are the O-founders. Just saying. While the SEC requires that the information provided be accurate, it does not guarantee it. Investors who purchase securities and suffer losses have important recovery rights if they can prove that there was incomplete or inaccurate disclosure of important information, which is why I constantly talk about making an informed, educated decision about joining these things or about buying products and all of that good stuff that you hear me yell about on my channel almost every single day. Then there's also the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. And in the past, I have dove into the entire acts. I've read them to you word for word. This is just kind of a quick summary, and then we'll get into the good stuff. So with this act, the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, Congress created the Securities and Exchange Commission. The act empowers the SEC with broad authority over all aspects of the securities industry. This includes the power to register, regulate, and oversee brokerage firms, transfer agents, and clearing agencies, as well as the nation's securities self-regulatory organizations, SROs. The various securities exchanges, such as the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ stock market, and the Chicago Board of Options are SROs. The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, is also an SRO. The Act also identifies and prohibits certain types of conduct in the markets and provides the Commission with disciplinary powers over regulated entities and persons associated with them. Persons here could be the O-founders. The Act also empowers the SEC to require periodic reporting of information by companies with publicly traded securities. Now, Marty is not incorrect. There is certain, securities that do not have to be registered and that can be exempt. Okay? So not all offerings of securities must be registered with the Commission. Some exemptions from the registration requirement include private offerings to limited number of persons or institutions, offerings of limited size, intrastate offerings, and securities of municipal, state, and federal governments. ONPASSIVE does not fall into any of the above categories. Not at all. Something we haven't talked about on my channel before is how does the SEC decide that something is a security? So the SEC determines if something is considered a security using what we call the Howie test. And that comes from a 1946 Supreme Court case in the USA, which was the SEC versus W.J. Howie Co. All right. And there's 4 criteria that they go by. Okay. So let's talk about the Howie test. A transaction is considered an investment contract, a security, which, by the way, if you also have to sign an affiliate agreement after, just saying, if all these conditions are met, number one, an investment of money. People must put in money or something of value. Number two, common enterprise. The money is pooled together with others in a shared business. Number three, expectation of profits. Investors expect to make money from the investment. And number four, profits come from the efforts of others. The success of the investment depends on someone else's work, not the investor's own effort. If something meets all four of these criteria, it is considered a security and must be registered with the SEC or qualify for an exemption. So if you do not register or have to register, for example, and you're like, I don't want to register, you can apply for an exemption. But again, if you meet these criteria, it probably won't be granted. So how does this apply to ONPASSIVE? ONPASSIVE sold founder positions to people with the promise that they would earn passive income when ONPASSIVE launched its AI-driven business tools. Scam Jan says, Marty says his calculator is for entertainment purposes only. Marty's a clown. They didn't have to do any work. ONPASSIVE's AI and Ash Mufareh would generate revenue for them. And their earnings would come from company profits and the recruitment of new founders / customers. So founders or customers. When you apply the Howie test to ONPASSIVE, it was an investment of money. People paid $97 plus. It was 97 US. So in some places that was a lot more for them, to become founders. There's a common enterprise. All funds went to ONPASSIVE, which controlled payouts. Most specifically, for example, the buy-ins all went into Ash Mufareh's bank account for ONPASSIVE, right? The O-Connect commissions all went into the ONPASSIVE Technologies LLC bank account, which was controlled by Mohammed Kamal, but was still supposed to be like a common enterprise, right? Expectation of profits. Founders were told they would earn money automatically when ONPASSIVE launched, and efforts of others. Success depended on Ash Mufareh and his team, not the founders doing any work. It wasn't like they were getting paid hourly or something, right? Or getting paid per job. Since ONPASSIVE never registered these founder positions as securities, they were illegally selling unregistered securities, makes it an investment. This is why the SEC sued Ash Mufareh and ONPASSIVE. They were running an unregulated investment scheme disguised as an AI business opportunity. Why does it matter if a security is unregistered? All right, especially if you're on ONPASSIVE, you're like, oh wow, what does that matter? If something is a security, the SEC requires the company to register it. So you need to file documents explaining how the investment works. You have to disclose the risks. You have to warn investors about possible losses. It's the same as how when you make an income claim, you have to tell them what a typical person would make, Be transparent. Show financial records proving they can actually deliver profits. And that's when the income disclosures come in. ONPASSIVE did none of this, which is why the SEC took action. The government wants to protect investors, the O-founders, and the public from being scammed into false promises of passive income. Consequences for ONPASSIVE and Ash Mufareh. Now that the SEC has determined ONPASSIVE was selling unregistered securities, the possible legal outcomes include financial penalties, fines, asset seizures, and refunds to victims, which they are asking for $108 million in relief, by the way. Permanent injunction. The court may ban Ash Mufareh from running investment-related businesses. That's the director's bar that they want to put on him. Criminal charges. If fraud is proven, Mufareh could face prison time. It is a possibility, and it has happened in the past. The shutdown of ONPASSIVE. The company may be forced to close down permanently, and the SEC is trying, again, to put a director's bar on him and shut it down. So that outcome is quite likely. Many of the founders aren't too bright and probably don't really understand what an investment is. And because they're now trapped in a cult, they're trying to protect their leader. Exactly. And that's why I think we need to explain it again. Marty saying it's not an investment doesn't change the reality. Just because Marty repeatedly claimed ONPASSIVE was not an investment does not mean the SEC agrees. It's just like how when they're like, we're not an MLM company over and over again. That doesn't matter because your business model and how your business runs is an MLM business model. All right? You got more than 3 levels. You recruit people. You make commissions off of them. You make commissions for recruiting. Then automatically it's an MLM, whether you like it or not. Doesn't matter what you call it. And it's the same sort of thing with the investments here. The law doesn't care what you call it. It cares how it functions. A Ponzi scheme leader could say, this isn't an investment. It's a blessing circle. A pyramid scheme could claim, we're just a gifting community. But if it meets the SEC's criteria for a security, it's a security, period. And if it's a security, it's an investment, period. The Howie test proves ONPASSIVE was an investment. The SEC doesn't ask, did Marty call this an investment in order to decide? I know Marty thinks that he's king shit of the world over here and that he decides everything, or that Ash gets to decide and go, it's not an investment, therefore they can't come after us. No, the SEC doesn't care, okay? They ask, did people pay money expecting passive profits from others' efforts? People did pay money, the $97 for a founder position, never mind the OConnect payment. They expected profits from ONPASSIVE's AI system and automated marketing. They weren't working for it. It was sold as 100% hands-free passive income, especially within the first 3 years. Success depended on ONPASSIVE, not the founder's own efforts. That fits the legal definition of an investment contract, which you also got them to sign an NDA and an affiliate agreement. And that makes it a security. ONPASSIVE promised passive income, which screams investment. ONPASSIVE's entire pitch was, you will make money even if you do nothing. Do you remember Catmo? Complete automatic targeted traffic and money. Yeah, all those times that you spoke about Catmo, every time you guys mentioned Catmo, you're saying that this is an investment. So good job. Thank you for inventing that. That's been very helpful to us. AI will work for you and you will get paid. Sherry Dershowitz, she thinks that she gets paid to use the products. And it's not like anyone corrects her, by the way. She's been saying it for years. And not one of you have stopped to explain to her that that's not how it works. You let her do that because it sounds really good, doesn't it? Set it right and forget it. You remember that? Set it and forget it? That was a big thing. Passive income for life. Another big thing. Generational wealth, right? This clearly means people were investing money with the expectation of profit coming from ONPASSIVE's work. If it was truly a business, people would have had to sell products, provide services, actively worked to generate revenue. Since there were no products at all that anyone was selling, right? That's a problem. There's no service that they're providing, right? It was just buy in, get in this pyramid, and eventually you make dough. That was basically the selling point, especially again for the first few years, right? They were all about the money. They kind of switched it up about the third year in. They realized it doesn't sound good to be all about money. So they really did try to switch it over to the whole saving humanity thing. And this is kind of why sometimes they go back and forth with it a bit. And you're like, wait, I thought it was about saving humanity. Now you're talking about money. Or I thought it was about making money. And now they're all about saving humanity. What's going on? Yeah, it's because they did that little switch, but it still kind of seeps through every once in a while, So they weren't selling anything or doing anything. They were just waiting for ONPASSIVE to make the money, and they still kind of are, and that's an investment. So for the first few years of this thing, right, people were buying in, it's only an investment. If it wasn't an investment, why did they need the SEC exemption? Marty and Ash tried to say ONPASSIVE wasn't an investment, but then contradicted themselves by telling people ONPASSIVE didn't need to register with the SEC because they were exempt, which only applies to securities, avoiding certain words like profit or ROI to dodge legal scrutiny, and shutting down discussions when people asked, is this legal? If it wasn't an investment, why worry about SEC regulations in the first place? I'm just wondering, it's just a question. The SEC has already called it an investment, and that is all that freaking matters here. It doesn't even matter what I call it. All right? I could call it a scam, and they'll be like, well, actually, it's an investment and an illegal multi-level marketing scheme, which they also called it, by the way. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's how they define it, right? It doesn't matter what Marty DeGarmo, Ash Bufara, or any other ONPASSIVE leader claims. The SEC sued ONPASSIVE specifically for selling unregistered securities. Once the SEC determines that something is a security, the company has two options. All right? You either prove it was properly registered, which they couldn't do. It's like the SEC knows you didn't register with them properly. But, maybe paperwork got lost somehow or something. So maybe for some reason you have it. I don't know. Just in case it could happen. I'm sure they got to make it a thing that you could try. Or you get shut down and face legal consequences. And that's what's happening now. There's a reason why Ash is not releasing a product today. It is not only about he doesn't have one. Right? He claimed that he found the data for the old O Connect. Technically, he could upload that at any time. I believe that he's not allowed to until after the SEC litigation. So Marty repeating, it's not an investment, is just empty words. The SEC's legal action is what actually counts. I am proud of Marty for finally going and reading it, though. That's good of him. But again, he can scream all he wants. It's not an investment. Doesn't matter. Final thoughts are Marty DeGarmo's denial is silly because it's based on wordplay, not legal reality. The Howie test proves ONPASSIVE was an investment, and they go by the Howie test. So, fuck you, Marty. Passive income without work equals an investment. And you still don't have products. So, if it wasn't an investment, why worry about the SEC? And the SEC has already ruled it was an unregistered security. So, again, you can scream and cry and cope however you want, but they've already decided. So, tough shit. Marty and the other ONPASSIVE leaders spent years gaslighting people, claiming it wasn't an investment, while actively promising investment-like returns. And now we're trying to do it again. Damn it. So, did Marty DeGarmo and O founders make an investment with ONPASSIVE? I hope that the case that I just made proves that yes. Yes, they did. They definitely did. So, Marty, whenever you are ready to leave ONPASSIVE, because according to you, you want nothing to do with an investment, and if ONPASSIVE is an investment, you don't want to be in it, then you do that, sir. I look forward to your stream tomorrow when you announce that you will be leaving this company and no longer promoting it because you do not support it being an investment. And my God, I hate this new StreamYard. You upped the price to $80 and you made it worse. What are you doing? I keep disappearing. I hate that. So now that we've got that out of the way, I think I proved my point. I mean, if you guys want to add anything, or if you have a problem with what I've presented here, do let me know. When I look back at all of history, it seems to me like God's main goal has been helping humanity. Right? Hi, Sam. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great day. I mean, more positions, more money. Yeah. It's like more money, more problems. We can get Marty to rap it, maybe, because apparently he's a homie now. We'll have to see if he plays like that. Apples provide the best return. Right. Exactly. It's a shoddy one, but yes, yeah. I never said it was a great investment, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not over here promoting it like this is an investment. You should get it. No. But it is an investment, and they are securities. Selling the position is unfortunately an investment in a security. And again, all of that means that's why they're sued. You know, the thing is that makes me laugh is it's like the first thing that they would have done is seen if it was considered an investment in a security. Like that would have been the first step in their investigation. It would have been like, well, should we even investigate this? I mean, is that what it is? And then once they discovered that, yes, that is what it is, and the Howie test proves it, then they would have been like, okay, let's get down and dirty and really investigate this, right? That's kind of like the first step in their investigative process is to define it first, right? So it's like, obviously they figured that out a long time ago, probably back in 2022. They were deciding that it was already an investment. Like before me or the Recovering Hunbot ever came on the scene. I think that we might have just lit a little fire under their asses when we started to report it to them. If we had anything to do with it at all, that would have only been it. They were already into this because of Ash's history. That's nobody's fault but his. We did not force Ash Mufara to do 20 years of scamming before he opened this one. That was all him. All right? You know, and ChatGPT wasn't available back then. That's right. So we're going to have a little commercial break. And then when I come back, the Heroes webinar was very, very interesting. But we're not going to sit here and watch the whole hour because that will make everyone want to scream and rip their hair out. So what I've done is I've gone and gotten the best clips of it where you're going to see a lot of coping. They do a lot of cope. So don't go anywhere.
Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but Lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy! No one fucks with my hose! The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Nah, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger is almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS, pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper, Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand. We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Dinger condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you sexual endorphin spray, trademarked. We have now created the foot fetish Fantasia spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the foot fetish Fantasia spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chaz R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock Core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger condoms and Fantasia foot spray. Buy Tiny Digger diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor.
Yes, thank you. And this person says, get together and make plans, but you will fail because God is with us. Isaiah 8:10. I could say the same for you and on passive. I could say, God is with me. I'm atheist, so I don't believe in God. So all of that does nothing for me. I'm just kind of like, cool, God, like whatever. I don't have any fear of like burning in hell for all of eternity. So like the fear mongering stuff doesn't work with me either. But if there is a God, all right, and I'm saying a really big if. I don't believe there's one at all. But if there is one, for the case of your argument, I would like to think that God would actually be on the side of people like me that speak out about false prophets and that speak out about cults, because it's those things that make God look very bad. And if those things didn't exist, more people would probably embrace religion, right? Those tend to be the reasons why people don't like it, other than they don't believe in it because it's bull hooey, they find. But I would like to think that if God is real, God would be good enough to be like, I don't want a bunch of people using me to scam people, doing faith manipulation. And I think he would be on the side of the people that spoke out about this, which, by the way, there's many Christians who do as well. It's not just atheists who speak out against these sorts of schemes. So I like to think that God is actually with those people. Remember, I'm burning in hell for all of eternity. I'm an atheist. But if there is a God, God would be supporting the Christians who speak out against false prophets and who speak out against people using God in nefarious, malicious ways. I would like to think that God wouldn't want to be used like that. And my community can also Google Bible quotes. See, look. The rod of correction, a remedy for foolishness. Proverbs 22:15. Do not defraud or rob your neighbor. Leviticus 19:13. I think I've used that one before in a video. I'm just saying. Poverty is a blessing. Luke 6:20-24. There's probably a whole bunch more that say things like that. Right? No one needs help to make God look bad. He did that all on his own. I feel that way about Ashmufara as well. Poor Satan gets scapegoated. He doesn't exist either. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Don't, liar. Why don't you think about John? Think about you. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. You're going to have to try again. Anyway, that was fun. So please don't think about John. Think about your life. Don't think about on passive, please, you liar. See, the world would actually be a really awful place if all of us were only thinking about ourselves and never volunteered our time to help others or spoke out about. It's funny because you people in on passive, you're all about saving humanity, but then you come over here and you get mad at people like me who volunteer our time to protecting humanity. From scams and cults and people that want to take advantage of them and do very bad things to them and ruin their lives. And I'm like, well, if you wanted people that saved humanity, like that is what we're doing. It's just too bad you're on the wrong side of it. But again, that's something that you're going to have to deal with and decide if you want to be on the good side or, again, the side that God's on, because they're apparently on our side, as we've already established. And there's also, I don't want to join your company. And there's also not one thing I've lied about when it comes to ONPASSIVE. But feel free, if you want to make a video and you want to say this Queen of Karma lady is lying about this SEC case and us being a security and an investment, and this is why, go for it. I welcome that. You know, get Marty to respond. Let's think about on Fusion T. Prove we're lying. That's what I mean. I always tell them to prove it. We're in it to win it. 100 genuine company. All right, so. Sorry, I had to cough. The Heroes webinar on March 2nd was very, very interesting. There were many, many moments. Many moments. Now, hold on a second. I have to just make sure I get my order. All right, I think we will start off with Minu. Good old Minu. She was right at the beginning of this thing.
Looking up at the definition of features of an ethical leader, and it lined up numerous features.
So the theme of this Heroes webinar was all about having an ethical leader, which is very ironic in ONPASSIVE. Again, a company being sued by the SEC because he pocketed $108 million after illegally selling securities.
Some of those, for example, are transparency of communication, fairness to all individuals equally, accountability when something goes wrong.
Well, in that case, I don't know if we can call Ash Mufara ethical now, can we? Because when something goes wrong, he's never like, oh, it's my fault. Even in his speech where he was all like, I'm taking back the company, like he didn't take any accountability for being the reason why the company got away from him. It was all because other people were doing things behind his back and trying to stop him because he was so amazing. And the whole world wants to stop him from saving humanity because his technology is what will do it. It's the best idea ever in the whole world. Right? Everyone wants to stop it. It had nothing to do with him like not paying attention properly, not checking into things enough or anything like that. No.
Empathy to show respect for emotions, humility in the leadership as a servant, and a number of other features. My favorite, which I'm going to focus today, is the one that talks about security measures.
Security measures. ONPASSIVE.
They implement strong cybersecurity protocols to prevent data breaches and unauthorized access. So in a nutshell,
that makes him ethical, and that makes the business ethical. In the meantime, this company, when they had a website, it had cookies, and they didn't do the warning, which is illegal. It's like they can't do anything legally. All right, there was no firewall at one point. There was malware all over the website, like because you can go to websites and you can check how safe they are and all that stuff, right? And it's all public information. And so it was not good. There was like a scam warning for it too. If you looked on any of the scam advisor websites, it was like, oh no, this is not trustworthy at all. And like at one point, back at the beginning of them having their O-mail and their OES, they were getting like hacked into all the time. There was a whole bunch of hacks that had happened. And like just things were going terribly wrong. So good one, Mineo. That's a good joke.
Ethical leadership in technology is about ensuring that progress does not come at the cost of fundamental human rights.
Ooh. You mean like making employees get a visa to come and live in Dubai with their families and then not paying them for 9 months? And then when they ask for their pay, because they're literally like, I'm about to get evicted and I'm like, we're starving. What the hell? They get screamed at and then they all get let go and they all get fucked over. You mean like that? She wrote a manuscript for this? Yes. What I love about Minu is she was like, we are going to talk about how Ash is an ethical leader and why this business is ethical. And in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google the definition of ethical businesses, and then I'm just going to read it. and that should prove it. 100%. That will do it. Everyone will be convinced. It will be great. And you're like, okay, Minu. Yeah, no, that good job. I find this Minu woman interesting. I was thinking of doing a deep dive on her. I don't believe we've really looked into her. And I thought it would be interesting now that not much is happening in ONPASSIVE. And to be honest, I don't think it really will until closer to the court date. And then things might like pop off. And then we'll see what happens with all that, of course. But like from now until then, I really don't think that much is going to be happening. And I'm sure that most of you will agree with me on that. I feel like Ash might show up once a month. And that's like, if we're lucky, he might disappear for several months again. But he's only going to be showing up every once in a while to kind of keep the hype alive. And that's it. I don't think much else will happen until the court case. So I thought between now and then, it would be more fun for us if we started to kind of deep dive some of these other characters. I feel like we know like Marty very well and Chris very well. And even Red, we know him pretty well. But there's a lot of characters in this that are recurring characters. And they're quite often, we see them, right? That we don't know much about. And I thought I would sort of, like I've kind of done them in the past with like Jeffrey Morlock. I did one and we read through his book and stuff. And that was kind of fun. And I thought tomorrow we would start by looking into Dr. Benny because she's also joined Vibe. So I think we need to look into her. It'll be an interesting one, I promise. But I'm thinking that it will be better use of our time if we start doing deep dives on who all these people are and their histories. And I was thinking Minu would be another one that we don't know much about, but she always is here doing this, right? Like we see her quite often, but we don't know much about her. So we need to learn more. You know, I think she likes her self-importance in the cult. I agree. She doesn't seem unintelligent, but I think she likes the superior attitude she exhibits. I don't know if she is... How do I say this? I don't know if it's fair to really judge her intelligence at all. I agree she doesn't seem unintelligent. But I also feel like with Minu, there's a bit of a language barrier as well that we have to kind of take into consideration. And so, like, I don't know if I would be able to get a good read on that necessarily. Because it's like, there's obviously a language barrier here, you know? But she definitely does really like that she is the host of these webinars. And she does like to be in the spotlight whenever she is. That I'll definitely agree with. Fundamental human rights, like paying the staff in Hyderabad, exactly, and Dubai. They didn't get paid either, man. So there was 500 employees. I believe, 500 employees, I believe, at the Hyderabad office. 200 of them had gone on strike when the strike happened, and I believe there was another 300 that were allegedly just working there. I don't know how there were so many people, apparently. And then also in Dubai, there was like another group that did not get paid. And I'm not sure how many that was, but there were at least 500 people that did not get paid. And that's just ridiculous. A cult leader's inner circle usually do exhibit similar importance of themselves. Exactly. And that's what we're seeing with Marty and Chris right now, is that they've been in that position for so long, and now their egos are growing. You know, they're starting to feel very, very important this last year. I wonder if she capitalized on passive on her draft. I wonder. Tanya would yell at her if she did it. Could we look at Rob whilst he's still just about alive? Yeah, we could look at Rob. We can look at Rob. Rob and Lynn. Definitely should look at Lynn. Hello, Ella. Good to see you.
A leader who respects privacy and rights builds trust, fosters responsible technological growth, and protects the dignity of every individual.
And protect the dignity of every individual. Good job, Manu. Good job. Good job. That definitely does not describe Ash Mufara at all. You did wonderful. You did wonderful. And that's really all she said. This one was being hosted by Peter Rogers. So that was great fun for all. Great fun for everybody. We, of course, also heard from Andy Burks.
Clean and ethical. I love this because let's look at other big business. Microsoft, Amazon, Zoom, all of these companies, and this is my opinion, by the way, so, you know, feel free to disagree, but I've known people that work at Amazon or work for Amazon, and the staff are treated...
Congratulations, Andy.
Let's just say exceedingly poorly.
You mean like making them work around the clock, not ever sleeping, or having to sleep at the office? Like Ash bragged his staff did, and then not paying them for like 9 months? You mean that poorly?
They're paid minimum wage. Things get thrown across the warehouse.
Oh yeah.
They have no customer care. Not interested.
Oh.
And that stems
because, you know, ONPASSIVE has such a large customer service area. Oh yeah, no, poor Julie.
From the leader, I believe.
He believes.
Whereas, you know, we know he's given away cars and motorbikes and phones to members of staff.
I always wonder about that. Like, I'm always like, what happened to those people that got the cards? Like, did they have to give them back after? Like, they get gifted the car, they like drive it around for a weekend, and then Ash calls them up and he's like, listen, it has to be back at the rental place by Tuesday. Otherwise, I got to pay for another day. You know what I mean? Because it was like he gave them out. And then it was like, we never, ever saw these people ever again. It's like, what happened to them? And like a couple of the founders here had gotten laptops or phones, and they're like, oh, I still have mine and stuff. But we really haven't heard about any of this, you know? I've often wondered what happened. But the Amazon workers get paid, despite all you're saying, dude. It's true. Andy Burke is a total cretin. He's embarrassing. He claims to be a numbers guy, but his math is at a level of a 10-year-old. So is mine, though, so I can't talk much about that. And he knows a guy that ships for Amazon, Flex, right? He's like, I know a guy that works at Amazon. I'm like, congratulations. Good for you. The only thing Ash has given his staff is syphilis. Oh my, that would be awful. That would be awful. Alb says, I remember when he, meaning Andy Burks, was a financial product sales rep, which doesn't really require much mass. But then he got a career upgrade, similar to Marty, to accountant. Interesting. Plus, ONPASSIVE is a cult. Lives don't fall apart, and the workers don't get coerced into cutting off their support network for not shopping at Amazon or for a bad review. That's right.
Amazon has never done that. Let's look
Unless you review Amy's baking company on somewhere. Be careful with that. You guys remember that Gordon Ramsay thing? Holy crap, I was watching something about that the other day because I was like, whatever happened to that? Someone had done an update. I was like, wow.
At Zoom, Zoom has a product, and lo and behold, we're using this today.
Yeah.
But if you look at some of the add-ons, where did they get those add-ons from? I wonder. Look awfully familiar to us, don't they? Yes, exactly.
What are you saying? Are you saying that they used Google plugins or open source to make their Zoom? Like ONPASSIVE didn't?
Is that ethical? No, it's not. That's stealing. That's theft.
But no, it's not, though. It's actually not, though. It's not. And the thing is that, as Angel's saying here, what he's trying to imply isn't even about Google plugins. I just brought that up because guess what ONPASSIVE tried to use? Open source and Google plugins. So again, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But he's about to imply, and that was supposed to imply, that everything's getting stolen from ONPASSIVE. And then all of a sudden, that became the theme here, was ethical business, and people have stolen technology from ONPASSIVE. And I was like, what is happening right now? Like, what the hell?
And I guarantee that what's happened over the course of the last couple of years has got to do with those relevant companies that I've mentioned already.
So you think that Amazon and Apple and Microsoft and Zoom stole from ONPASSIVE? That's what you're implying? That they stole from what? OConnect? Because no. Like, you realize that they were building a lot of the technologies that they came out with at the time that you came out with OConnect for like years before, right? Even before ONPASSIVE was a fucking company. So what are you talking about? Alb says, oh, this is my favorite. He's trying to imply they stole some features from Scam Connect. And the funny thing is, he wasn't even the last one to do this. He really is one of the stupidest people in ONPASSIVE, and that's a tough bar to clear. It really is. Burks and Comfort? Yeah, Comfort is another one, right? Yes, Andy, Ella says. Amazon and Microsoft and Zoom have products. Pay their staff, and the whole world has heard of them. Practically no one has heard of ONPASSIVE. No products and dreadful staff care, right? I'm like, why would they want to copy you? You have nothing. What do you have? You can't even pay your employees properly, and you brag about how you used to make them sleep at the office. Like, what the heck? Andy won't say what Ash stole, right? Which, if anyone's wondering, at least $108 million.
Now, I've always been a believer in my handshake is my bond. If I say something, I will do my utmost to be able to pull through or follow through with what I say.
Okay, so prove to me then, Andy, All right? Prove to me, Andy Burks, that those companies that you listed stole from ONPASSIVE. Like, what evidence do you have to suggest that? Show me the features that Zoom have, which, by the way, Zoom started before OConnect was a thing. Like, it's like Andy thinks that people were watching an ONPASSIVE webinar back in 2018. And then they were like, oh my God, let's invent Zoom. These people are coming up with an OConnect thing. And it's like, no, that's not what happened, Andy. You trying to say that is insanity.
And I am very, what's the right word I want to use here?
Dumb?
Cautious, I think.
Sure, I guess. I think mine was better, but whatever.
The word is about those that I follow, those that.
Oh, are you? You could have fooled me.
That I listen to. Because I'm a big boy now, and.
Oh, look at that, guys. Andy's a big boy now. Good job, Andy. Look at you. You're a grown adult. Like 50.
You know, with age comes wisdom.
Not with yours, apparently.
And I think I have a bit of that.
I beg to differ. You know, especially doing this speech. Lord.
But I'm
really careful about who I listen to, so I joined a cult.
I love, as Peter's mentioned and you guys have mentioned, this is a family. We've got to know people over the last 4 or 5 years that we would never in a million years be in contact with, but we have a common goal, a common belief, a common ideology.
And if this thing gets shut down in 2026, all of you are going to go back to not knowing each other. You think that they're all still going to be friends and a family without the business here? Without Ash being able to run a business? I guess we'll find out.
In what Mr. Mufara is doing with ONPASSIVE, to bring products to the market that are value for money. And I love the example. You know, we know the video conferencing platform that we are currently using charges $6,500 a month for 10,000 attendees. What was ours? 125.
Yeah. What if I told you that the one you're actually supposed to get now in future does not do 10,000 employee or attendees? Sorry. I've been going on about employees so much. What if I told you that? What if I told you there was a huge drop down in how many people could attend? You need to check out hunbot.net, Andy.
Now, a lot of the customers are going to go back to Zoom at some point and go, hold on a minute, why have you been charging me this amount? Oh, well, you know, that's the way it is. We're all about this. We're all about profits. Whereas we're not all about profits. We're all about value for money. And along the way, we're going to be lucky enough to earn some good money out of this as affiliates.
And all the other companies are about both. It's like, come on, man. Alb says, nah, 80% plus of them will move as a big group into some other scam. One of these has got to work one of these days. It's true. I don't think that they'll still stick around here, though, and all be the big happy family. If ONPASSIVE gets shut down, all the founders will find new scam families. It's in their DNA, unfortunately. He is so self-righteous sounding, as if he has anything to do with the success ONPASSIVE would have. Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, Andy, what are you going on about? Family, these are the most dysfunctional relationships ever. Unethical, no integrity, liars, and scammers. I would like to belong to a family. I would like to belong to a family such as this. Right? It's like one of those people that are in a crime family and they're like, yeah. You're like, yeah, that's not a flex.
The difference is, I think, with us and pretty much every other company I've come across, certainly in my number of years on the planet.
What? Okay.
We intend to be able to help others.
He was talking about how he is a big boy now, that he didn't even want to tell us his age. But he wanted us to believe that he's gotten wiser with age. Like, okay.
It'd be nice to see when we get to that point who does and who doesn't. But that's by the by. At the end of the day, we're all committed here to be able to do as much for other people in different ways, whether it be an orphanage, whether it be technology. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is
an orphanage.
You're muted, Andy.
Oh, Gene, what are you talking about? That was the best speech he ever gave. That's my favorite part. When you can't hear him. What are you doing, Gene?
Could you unmute yourself?
How's that? Where did I get to?
I don't even know how you muted yourself to begin with. You were just ranting and raving. How did you press a button? What happened? I'm just saying. Angel says, literally every company has a charitable part of it. Yep. Tax breaks. ONPASSIVE isn't special because it's helping. It's not helping. No, it's not. And literally every MLM as well has like an organization, foundation, something that they're doing. So it like they're not even a special MLM. Right? It's like you're not doing anything different than all of the other ones. Not one thing different. As I keep saying, like they're all the exact same. They all run the same. They all use the same tactics. And they're all tactics that cults use. It's not good. But it's like, you're not doing a thing. And show me, who's going to open up an orphanage? Which one of you? I'm a little worried about that now. You know? That's the way to go on Passivian. Silent webinars. That's right. That's right. They should try silence. Andy is the numbers guy. He is.
Lost my train of thought. Yeah, I think they go on.
Shut up, Gene. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I think that we're all going to be able to help others in a different way, in a different means.
I'm sorry, Gene. That was mean. You didn't deserve that. I was just trying to be funny. Sometimes I just say things for the plot, you know.
But the fact that we're all thinking the same thing is fantastic. But we have over 1 million people in the group.
It's really just groupthink, Andy. Just groupthink. You got a herd mentality. Congratulations. This is all it is. You've created an echo chamber. That's it. It's not that fantastic. Quite the opposite, actually.
We don't get to see all of them, admittedly, and some of them don't attend these things or listen to what they have to say. But
and they're the lucky ones, in my opinion.
There is a strong following, and that strong following, we all have the same feeling. So this business ethics, to me, are most important. Now, I'm not even going to go into Microsoft because you won't want to hear what I have to say about that. Okay. But I do truly believe there is no reason why every company on this planet cannot be clean and ethical. And I'm proud to be part of one that is.
He's proud. He's proud to be there. And then he basically says, thank you. And that's all he had to say. But I think it's interesting that he ends it there talking about ethics again. And which was the theme that day. You know? The tweet's like, no, tell us about Microsoft. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. You know? Since when does someone join a company for the good feelings? Exactly. Exactly. I even said once, like, if you wanted to just create a community where you guys just hung out and like did trivia and then supported each other through life or something, It would almost at least be more honest than whatever the hell this is. It's like, don't pretend to be a company and then be a cult, Knowing your CEO, wow, I forgot how to read that, stole the money and not paid employees. Yes, that's ethical, isn't it? Very ethical. Andy, the numbers man, the ethics man, the honest man, the proud man. But he can't define what these words mean. Maybe Manu can look up the definition for him on Google. And write it down and then read it to him at the next one. These people that talk about clean and ethical business, they probably also believe in women remaining pure until marriage. No one talks about real businesses that way. See, that's the thing, is that clean and ethical business. Like, it's almost like doth protest too much. It's like, yeah, if you just are doing ethical business practices, you don't really have to constantly talk about how you're a clean and ethical business. Like you just are one, right? So it's like, maybe don't talk about it so much, and then maybe people would believe you more. I don't know. It's so bizarre to me. It's the same as they're like, Ash is so great. Ash is so wonderful. Let's all praise Ash. And I was like, if he was so great, you wouldn't have to keep trying to convince us that he's not in this for money every single day and shit, His actions would speak more than your words. The Sweet says, I can't even define his words. Right? My wife was mostly pure. In catch-up. Yeah, I just got Wi-Fi back after 9 days now. I get to see the whole chat. That's good. I'm glad that you got it back, Violet. I'm glad that we got to be here for this moment with you after going through it with you. How wonderful. Everyone, send Violet heart emojis in the chat to say, yay, Wi-Fi! And send some heart emojis in the chat to tell Violet we are happy that she finally got the Wi-Fi back. It's been a very stressful, long 9 days. Andy is a spineless brain. She's like, now that I've got it back, I'm ready to go in. That's right. Here I go. Andy is a spineless, brainless, flabby handshake living off his mom's pension. I don't feel like he would have a good handshake. I don't feel like it would be a good firm one, Do they even do handshakes anymore? Is that old school now? We AJ ourselves at the moment. What's going on? They like fist bump at interviews now? Like what happens? Last several jobs that I've gotten, I never really had to do a real interview. They're just like, come in, you're hired. So I don't even know. But yeah. Andy triggers me. Not sure why. We've all got one of them, right? Probably, yeah. Andy, I think it's because he acts very sanctimonious. And I think most people don't like that. And it gives them a bad taste. He also seems like he's talking down to you just the whole time. He really does come off like, I'm Mr. Smarty Pants. He's like one of those r/I am so smart people, Like post him up there. But that was Andy's take on ethics, which was, of course, great fun for the whole family. After that, who should we do next? Well, let's get into what Keith said.
That's the world we're living in now. Cold and heartless.
Off to a great start, Keith. Thank you so much. So Keith came on, he rambled on for a tiny little bit, but like I said, I didn't come here to show you the boring parts. I came here to show you the silly, weird parts, or the parts where they're getting angry or something, So you know, we're off to starting about how, or we're off to starting. We're starting off talking about how the world is a very dark, cold place. As cold and dark as Ash Mufara's heart.
It is sad, but it's a reality. But on the flip side of that, we have the good. You know, the Bible does say where much sin abounds, or call it evil or bad, much grace abound. We can't stop evil, but we can do good. And our light can be a difference in this dark world.
In this dog world. All right. Listen, we're living in a dog world. All right. The world is run by the dogs. So, a dog world. It's the old song, man.
I'm so thankful for Ash because that's not someone you find very often. That's a unique situation there. That's a paradigm shifting idea right there. That's
Oh yeah, no, it's a paradigm shift. And you should be asking yourself what you did in your past life to deserve this nightmare. Honestly, just saying.
the handpicked man for a time for now. And I'm seeing where now we're needed more than ever.
Keith, he's another guy like Mufara who talks for half an hour and we have no idea what he's blathering about. Oh, if you thought Keith was bad, just wait.
Before. So a leader to me is the key to why we're going to have success. When you have people right now, and I'm pretty sure that
what success, Keith? What are you talking about?
Those in government that may be facing death threats if they do A, B, C, or D. A lot of them that we see because they can't say it. It's in the background. That's they may be getting death threats. Say if you X, Y, Z, we're gonna take you out.
Oh my God! Oh my word! Lord, what are we doing, Keith? Keith, doesn't he live in the USA? Like, what's going on where you are at, Keith? Is everything okay? A little worried. Whew. You don't find a grifter very often? You should come over here a while, Keith. Yeah, you should. You should. I am Ash Mufara, and I am a unicorn. Well, really a horse with a fake horn taped to my head. That's right. That's right.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, sweet God. That escalated so quickly. I'm like, wait, the one government's doing that. Aren't you in the USA, sir? What? I emailed Andy's former employer because he's still not on their website, alerting them to his current activities. They made very clear they have distanced themselves from him. Damn. You should send that to me, Violet, in the emails. So is there late fees on that AWS bill? Probably. I mean, there would definitely be. Yeah, there would be. For sure.
So because of fear, they said, listen to me, I'm going to hold my ground. What does Ash say? Do or die.
Oh my word. It's like, listen, people threaten the government and say if you don't do things, then they'll kill you. And what does Ash say? Do or die. I'm like, it's not that serious, Keith. It's really just an MLM. Calm down. Nobody needs to die, okay? No one needs to die. Oh, Lord. Lord. Violet, thank you so much. Violet just gifted 5 Queen of Karma memberships. So if you got one of those memberships, and I cannot see you got them right now, so I'll let you know in the next stream. But if you got one of those memberships, then be sure that you say thank you to Violet. We love Violet. Keith, he is in his own bubble. He really is, though. I'm a little scared for him. Like, what is going on over there?
He's willing to put his life on the line. He's willing to say, I will leave this business and give it to you. Enjoy it. That's the kind of man that we're dealing with here. This is serious. And my admonition and my hope is that we pray for him, that he has the wisdom. I tell you why.
Pray for him.
Great men are not always wise.
That doesn't mean anything, Keith. That's not why at all.
And sometimes we, in our human self, want to get it right, want to get it perfect. But getting it perfect doesn't mean you're going to win. It's if you have the creative hands, the creative power that's with you that caused you to win.
Ooh, Angel's coming in hot. She says, "Yay, Violet! Way more generous than Ash could ever be." Hear that, Ash?
And so because we have a leader who is very particular about getting things right.
I every time someone says that, it drives me crazy. It's like, okay, watching Ash Mufara getting this business going the last few years, it's seriously like watching someone do every single thing wrong. Do everything the opposite way of how one should do it or how it should be done and is supposed to be done. It's like even when he has an opportunity to do the right thing, he still chooses to do the wrong thing. You know what I mean? So whenever they say this, I'm like, what are you talking about? He obviously doesn't care about actually getting it right, though. I mean, really. Like, and they're like, oh, that's why it's taking so long, because he wants it to be perfect. He wants to get it right. And, you know, we're so lucky to have a leader that wants to get it perfect and right. And I'm like, this man couldn't get any of this more wrong. Okay? Like, literally, I can't stress it enough how much has gone wrong with him. Like, it starts off with the unregistered securities, and then everything else just goes wrong after that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, since day one of this thing, we have been doing it all wrong. All right, we often joke that in future businesses will study ONPASSIVE because they go, oh, they'll study us to see how great they can be. And I go, no, it will be more like as a case study of what not to do, because they've literally done every single thing wrong. It's perfect. They would only need to use one fucking company for the entire class. They'd have an example of every single mistake someone could ever make while trying to launch a business. You know, they'd be like, and then Ash did this, which is the next mistake we'll be talking about today. You know, like literally perfect class for that. It's like, what are you talking about, Keith? Tell me when he has done it right and wanted something to be like perfect and the right way, like one time. Just one example. We got to get it right. Like, okay. Ash, with the furniture to the birch, was done just as good as the marketing in Dubai, without products for sale. That's right. Queen, you don't understand. Ash is a success on Bizarro World.
And that's a great thing. It's a very important thing. But what's more important is that he has the right timing.
Oh my God.
Whether he feels in himself that it's perfect or not. Because the right...
Yeah, you know, it didn't launch for the last 7 years because it wasn't the right time. God didn't think it was the right time. That's what it is.
The timing is what is the key that's going to let us win. And that's what I pray for, that he will have the beyond the love, the heart, the skills, the empathy for us and people, that he'll have the wisdom to know when to execute at the right time.
Again, Ash should have then launched the O Connect in 2020 when Zoom popped up. Like, that's what I mean. Even his timing sucks, damn it. So then after that, Keith went on for a little bit longer. He rambled on a little bit, but that was really the funniest part of the whole thing. The rest of it kind of sucked. And of course, as promised, we heard from Gina Leva.
Peter, I just wanted to say, like when Collins was saying, to build something clean and ethical, you have to have a clean and ethical leader. And that means, doing the right thing even when it's hard.
Sweet says, I don't think you're talking about the same Ash, Keith. Yeah, are you sure it's Mufara? Or maybe it's Mufare. Mark says, Keith sounds quite intelligent until you try and analyze what he's saying. And then you realize he's just another Burks, right? It's like people who use like big words to sound intelligent, but they don't actually know what the words mean, so they misuse them, and you're like, ooh, girl, that wasn't it,
Even when it's expensive, even when everyone is trying to keep you from doing it, you do the right thing. And so
Gene, first of all, when has Ash ever done the right thing? And secondly, Gene, who is keeping him from it? Who's keeping him from it? They act like if Ash had this amazing technology that would save all of humanity, nobody would want it to be released. And I'm over here like, I'm pretty sure everyone would want him to release that. Why would they be trying to stop it? And then they're like, oh, because they want to be the ones to do it. Well, if they know all about it, why aren't they doing it then? And now you're saying that they're stealing your ideas anyway. So, like, what the fuck? What kind of ride is this? I want to get off. I'm feeling sick. I hate this roller coaster, damn it. Gina Leva, she seriously scares me, like a Stepford wife, right? She has some interesting vibes about her, doesn't she? Is your clean and ethical leader in the room with us, ma'am? Do we know who it is? Who is it? Ethical leader avoids paying people. Check. Right? Why has Jean got a children's fairy tale scene as her background? Well, this is actually the Happy Birthday Oliver background. Because I guess it was Oliver Fantas or Fantas. I don't know how to say his last name. It was his birthday. So this spring-like child's fairy tale background ended up being the background for his birthday. So a few of them have it. I guess I forgot to say that. I'm sorry.
So that's...
I meant to address why it says Happy Birthday Oliver over a bunch of their heads. It was Oliver's birthday. Happy birthday to him. But I have to be honest with you, the birthdays at ONPASSIVE don't excite me at all anymore. Because it's like every single day Chris is announcing 500 birthdays. So I'm like, happy birthday, everyone,
The kind of man who is creating or enabling or gathering teams to produce everything on this platform. So we know it's going to be colored by that. And when we talk about, as Andy mentioned, people who are taking, adopting, stealing ideas that we have shown to the world over the past several years, we knew it was going to happen, because a good thing will get copied. But the thing that we never have to worry about is
like, Jesus Christ, Jane. Ugh. She's like, Annie Burke says that everyone's copying ONPASSIVE, so it must be true. Like, no, who's copying you? Show us. What have they copied? Like, it's almost like they're trying to imply that Zoom specifically stole, like, Zoom exists because they wanted to do OConnect. Right? But back in 2020, like, OConnect didn't exist. OConnect was not a product until September of 2023. So it's like, this would make some sense if OConnect was released in like 2019 or 2020, right? And then like Zoom was also released. Well, I don't think it was released in 2020, but it really did pop off a lot in 2020 and really started to grow. I guess they were like almost about to shut down, but then when the pandemic hit, right, they kind of like blew up in users, and that's what kind of got them to where they are today. So they would have then, you know, came on the scene more in 2020, been used by more people. And then you guys were like, oh, hey, I think that they stole some of our features. That would be one thing, right? Because at least then OConnect would have been a thing. It existed. But all it existed as in 2020, which they keep talking about 2020 as well with the OConnect, was there was a description of how OConnect was going to be a video conferencing software with lots of AI features. And that was it on the website. If you think that just by saying we want to do a video conferencing platform that uses AI to help out its features, if you think that that then somehow means that every company after that who does like a video conferencing platform that has AI in it is copying you, you're dumb. That's not even how that works. Like, we've been putting AI into things for decades, and we've already talked about this on my channel. We've got into the whole history of AI and computers and the Microsoft and Apple and all of that, because these are things that they say quite often, right? But it's like, come on, man. Like, all of these other companies were working on these things for ages before ONPASSIVE was ever even a thought in Ash Mufar's brain. Back when he was still doing like GDI Fusion, they were already trying to make all of this stuff with AI, you know? So, no, it's not stolen. That's not how that works. And you can't even take ownership over AI features or anything, because it's not like you even listed them all on the website. So you can't even argue that like someone at fucking the Zoom office somehow landed on the ONPASSIVE website about OConnect, read the features and thought that would be a good idea. I should add some of those to Zoom. Like it's like that's what you're trying to claim, but no, you can't. Because it wasn't even like you listed them on the website. Like, it was really, really just a thought. Right? So, and again, Ash didn't get patents on anything that he spoke about either. So even if they did steal it, it wouldn't matter. He doesn't own any of his ideas. And the funny thing is, when we were first covering this, myself and the Recovering Hunbot both even said, you might want to, you know, if you think you got all these grand ideas that you keep sharing with us, you might want to go and patent some of them. You know, patent your products. He claimed he had all these products, and we would go, okay, so then you've gotten patents for them, right? No. So it's also like, what are you talking about? Like, you know? Just doesn't make sense no matter how you try to twist it. But for some reason, in this entire Heroes webinar, they were all like, yeah, no, that's obviously what happened. Like, all these companies are stealing from ONPASSIVE. It was ONPASSIVE's idea to put AI into softwares. Nobody else ever thought of that. Microsoft and Apple would have never thought of that on their own. It's like, shut up, Gene. No one confirmed any AI features anyone used it on ONPASSIVE. It's true. There were none. ONPASSIVE didn't even use AI. Really, you know? Remember the patented cult plan? Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. It's like, do a patented product. How about try that?
They can do that. And they have their single products, and they can make their single products better, which is great for their customers. But they cannot replicate the heart that goes into every one of our products. Their products are.
I'm like, who are you talking about, Dean? Because like the companies that were brought up were Microsoft, Apple, Zoom, And then you're like, they're single product. Like, you know that they all have more than one product, right?
Not on a massive platform, all in one place, single sign-on. So they can do what they do.
Yeah, no, you guys also invented single sign-on. Yeah, no, nobody else in the history of the entire internet ever thought of single sign-on. That was definitely invented by ONPASSIVE. Just like how you guys invented the ability for people in Canada to talk to people outside our homes, our countries, globally, you know?
But they cannot take away the mind of our CEO, the creativity, which is, we're always going to be innovating. So even if everything that has come before went other.
They're like boomers that live on Facebook and don't realize other platforms exist. They might be, though. That might be part of the problem. But ONPASSIVE is nothing. Literally nothing. I know. I'll yell it for you, Ella.
Companies took it and they did whatever. Even if that happened.
What company? What are you talking about? Gene, stop this. You stop this right now.
Going to be innovating. So even if everything that has come before.
You're silly.
Other companies took it and they did whatever. Even if that happened, it doesn't stop what we're doing. Because we are just getting started here. We have so many things in the pipeline, some things that we haven't even conceived of yet that will be developed.
House says they didn't invent the ability for people outside of Canada to talk to people in Canada. They were just the first people outside of Canada who wanted to talk to people in Canada. Albs, aren't you in the USA where you're told to put a Canadian flag on your backpack when you're traveling because people outside of the USA don't like people in the USA? They actually like Canadians better. I've traveled a lot. It's a real thing. Look into it. even if Delulu. Right? I'm like, she doesn't even know if it happened or not. But she's still being so weird about it. Ash Mufara created the question mark and was the real inspiration behind Dr. Evil. That's right.
So it's the brain. It's the heart of our CEO, that clean and ethical leader with a
oh my God. Stop it.
Limitless creativity. Just absolutely mind-boggling. And that is what we have here. And they can't touch that. I have no concern if someone wants to adopt part of what we're doing. It's completely unethical, and they'll probably get legal teams after them, as we move forward.
Oh my God, did you hear that, Gene? Gene says that they're going to get legal teams after them as they move forward. And I'm like, for what, Gene? Who is Ash suing and for what? You think Ash has the money to go sue Microsoft? Please, actually, do you know what? All of you need to tell Ash that, it's not fair that Microsoft and Apple and Zoom stole all of his ideas. So he should definitely start a litigation against all three of them at the same time. And he should sue them all for intellectual property or theft of intellectual property. Sorry. That would be amazing. Amazing. Please do tell him to do that. I definitely want to be here. Queen, is it true that they are clearing the shelves in the stores of American products? Yes. Yes, Canada will be replacing any of the products that they once got from the USA with Canadian-made products instead going forward. That way we can lessen any harm done to you or us by tariffs. Yes, it would be unethical to do what Ash is doing, right? It's like Ash is the one doing all the wrong things. Class action by Ash. Let him collect. Yeah, let him do it. Let him do it because we will have a great time reading through that. We really will. It'll be great fun. I'll set up a whole stream for it. Everyone can bring snacks and drinks, and we will definitely be reading through it because that would be fucking hilarious. Because when he does that, he would have to break down exactly what was stolen and when and how. Look, you can't just be like, oh, they stole, Zoom stole my video conferencing app idea. Like, no. You have to also provide evidence of all of this. So it would be hilarious to see him trying to do that because it never happened, Gene. But she's like all excited. Like, look how excited she is here when she says this. She's like, you better watch out. They're going to have legal issues coming to you.
And they can't touch that. I have no concern if someone wants to adopt part of what we're doing. It's completely unethical, and they'll probably get legal teams after them, as we move forward. None of it matters because what we have is the source of that creativity, which is coming from God through Ashmufara and through all of us.
All right, now you've completely lost the plot, Gene. Now, not only are you ridiculously excited about the thought of Ash suing Microsoft and Apple and Zoom for stealing all of his amazing ideas, but now you're also claiming that God is working through Ash. Like, come on, ma'am. This isn't funny. Don't do that. This is what indoctrination looks like. I hate it. Exactly.
We're each going to have an opportunity to add in our own creativity and offer ideas and help create products and all of that. So I have no fear for the future. We know that what we have is...
Jesus Christ, they do 2 surveys asking people what products they want. And now all of a sudden Ash cares about what they think about the product.
Clean and ethical and beautiful and fun and amazing, super high value. And so we're just in the...
Like, what other buzzwords could I fit here?
In the best place ever. And we're on a great journey together. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, Peter.
Look at how happy she is with herself at the end, too. This smile she does here. Like, she's like, oh my God, that was so good. I did so good. Oh my God. Like, I just totally killed that. That was a good one. I even said that we were going to sue people. Yep, that's right. That was good. And I'm like, oh, Gene, sweetie. What are you rambling on about, Gene? Ash could probably afford small claims court, maybe, perhaps, maybe. Has the time come? Are we at the end now? Perfect. So, after I heard all these ramblings, I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. But then I was like, no, hold on. Because remember, Jelly Stack shared it in my Discord. And she said, is Vincent okay? And I was like, they haven't gotten to Vincent yet. So I'm going to need to hear from Vincent. And I'm just going to play this and you tell me if he's okay.
Thank you, Peter. Happy birthday to Oliver. And happy Sunday to everyone here. And also everyone who is listening to us. Happy Sunday. Thank you very much again, all the speakers here for coming.
The lip pursing too, lady, you know you're making things up. I feel like she does. Like, I get the vibe off of her that she knows. She knows what's up here a little more than she appears to. I think she knows exactly what this is. And she knows to, like, lie. Right? Speaking of Gene, Corey Chase's birthday was last week.
Here for this great webinar again today. Thank you very much. And God bless you to be here with us. So to start with the topic today, we're talking about building a clean business and ethical business, or maybe clean leaders. So building a clean business, we need, like most of you said, we need also a great also a clean leader, because having a clean business, we need some strong leaders front, because most of the business today, like one of us was saying, collapse because they have some wrong, the West leaders, because strong and powerful leaders can lead us to the destination. And then the business can lead the business also for long term. But when we have wrong leaders, the leaders that they don't know what they are doing, always collapse the business, and then they take the business to the wrong destination. So that's very important. We need a key leaders. If the key leaders, they are the strong.
Okay, listen, I gotta be honest. The whole time he's talking, I was like, what the heck is this man talking about? Is it just me?
And then wisdom, like most of people say about wisdom, they need that wisdom to build their business. So this is what Mr. Ash Mufara is doing. What Mr. Ash Mufara is doing, what the business that is building for the public good on the global scale. So it's building.
The theme was clean and ethical business and leaders. They really like these words. Is this guy for real? What on earth is he talking? Okay, it's not just me then.
On the public good. So the public good that is doing is not only for one country, it's for global scale, for the whole world, everywhere. So it's good. It's not going to harm the world. So this is a clean business. So that clean business is doing such that we will be happy. We will be happy to use it. And then those of us who are in the business also will be happy to be in, because it's going to change our life forever.
We'll be happy to be in because he's going to change our life forever. Okay.
So this is what we call a clean business, because that clean business is not doing anything wrong, because what is doing anything normal, everything that people can use it, and then not going to affect anyone.
What are you talking about? Vincent, it's not going to affect anyone. It's being sued by the SEC for $108 million. That affects quite a few people, actually. A judge will have to sit there and listen to Ash Mufara speak. Do you know what that's going to be like? All right, I already feel bad for that judge and the prosecutors of this. I'm like, oh, Lord, the SEC and the judge are in for a fucking ride of their lives during that court case. Like, I hope that they're not going to put Ash up on the stand and then he rambles for 7 hours straight. That will be awful. But, like, that's going on. Employees aren't paid. Their lives got ruined. Not going to say anything about that, or, like, that sucks. So I think they're affected by that. Right? There's people that are owed money because Ash doesn't pay rent on buildings. He literally just thought that everyone would let him use everything for free and work for him for free because of what he promises with ONPASSIVE. Like, Amazon AWS was going to be like, no, it's totally fine. You can totally use our services for free since you don't have the money and you're about to launch this thing. Yeah, no, we'll just wait. We'll just wait for the bill to be paid. It's all good. And he thought that all these employees would just show up and work around the clock for him without getting a paycheck and just keep going because they would be like, no, but we really see Ash's vision. And that would be enough to sustain their families, allegedly. You know, he thought he could just pocket the $108 million and spend it all on himself and his family instead of putting a cent back into the business to do anything. And then just paid out the ass in marketing somehow, which we're still not even really sure about. But it's like all of that has affected a lot of people. And then there's people that have literally stopped their life and put their life on hold for 7 years waiting around for this thing to launch. And it's funny because it's like Marty and Vincent and all these people seem to think that that just doesn't mean shit and that that shouldn't matter and that doesn't affect people. But it's almost like what I was talking about the other day in terms of like stunting your growth and not being able to like advance in life or as a person because you're just in a standstill waiting around. You know, you're stuck doing repetitive things in the MLM, usually, like one like Sensi. And all your personal development is all about just cult development, really, cult manipulation, right? And being a good cult member, that's all you're training for, really. And here, it's like everything was stopped so that they could just sit around and wait for this thing to launch, and then it never launches. And that does affect people. And I know that it hurts all of you to hear that these last 7 years you've negatively affected people. And so you keep trying to twist it and say that it's not true and blah, blah, blah. But you have. And if you continue with ONPASSIVE, you're going to negatively affect more people. Or you're going to be negatively affecting people for longer. You know, so it's like, get out now. Did he join last week? You would think so, right? Vincent, you are not yet a good bullshitter. That's why you are stumbling. Get out now, son. That's right. In fairness to Vincent, he's not good at anything. My name is Ash Mufara, and I am your defendant. That's right. I want to see the transcript of Jeffrey's answers to the court. Hopefully we can.
Anything that all we're going to use, all the technologies that is building it for the business is to impact positively our life. So it's going to change the way we do traditional way to do things. It's going to change in a recent way. Technology, we are using technology to do things. Recent way where we use technology to move across the world. Recent way we're using technology to do our daily jobs. Recent way where we use technology even to work in the hospital, to do everything. So this is what Mr. Ash is doing. And then when we talk about artificial intelligence system, those are technology that is going to also to use, because
and he's now left planet Earth, up and away.
When everywhere in every country today we are talking about artificial intelligence, some people, they don't, when they hear the word artificial intelligence, oh, what is this? What is that? This is based on the
what is this? What is that?
Technology that Mr. Ash Mufara is working on to build a clean business that stands for the world, a clean business that stands for the way the world is moving. So this is why he's doing this, because every aspect of the world, every area of the world, every business today, we are talking about artificial intelligence.
Weird, all of that technology works without ONPASSIVE, I know.
So this is based on that is building. It's building to move the way the world is moving.
He's built, wait a minute. He's building to move the way the world is moving. Okay. Like the spinning wet ball. Okay. I think I get what that means.
This to also to help people, because we need those technologies that to move our life forward. So
you already said that we use those technologies, and we need the technology so it'll make our life better. Why are you bringing it up as another point again?
This is why it's doing that clean business. So the business is based on the recent technology, the technology that's going to impact the world, the technology that is going to change the world. And then in human side,
reshape the planet, Ash 2035
is also going to change our life as well, because if we use it, you got technology, affordable technology,
and it's going to change our life as well. All right, listen, he's going to build and move the world the way that the world wants to move. Okay, he has technologies that we need every day. He's going to create technologies that we use.
Technology who can do your business, who can
see, it will do your business and also change your life.
Sustain everything for you. Things will be also easy for your life, and then your life is going to change positive.
Oh, and don't forget, it's going to make your life easier. Times 4. That's allegedly 4 of the reasons why Ash is clean and ethical.
Aspect, because you're going to improve even your revenue, you're going to change the way you do things. All business across the world, they will profit from the business, the clean business that is building. Because
all businesses across the world are going to profit from this business? How? How? What do you mean? They would all have to join ONPASSIVE. So either you're saying that you believe that every single business in this world is going to join ONPASSIVE, which, I mean, that's some high hopes and dreams, isn't it? I guess he does say dream big. Or you think that somehow this business being successful with its technology is going to, like, what, change the industry? And then other companies that aren't a part of ONPASSIVE will somehow be able to benefit from that? Which the latter one doesn't make much sense, right? Not that that would matter here. That's the whole point, is that this entire speech that Vincent does makes no sense. All 10 minutes of it. But I'm just like, you know, trying to get into his head and figure out what is he telling himself about this thing and why it's good, you know? And I'm just kind of like, which one is he going with? Is it the first one or the second one? I feel like the second one, you got to be a little bit more delusional because, like I said, that it really doesn't make any sense. They usually believe that the whole world's going to sign up. So I'm guessing he thinks that every single company in the world in business will join ONPASSIVE. Ain't that a feat? Not only every single person in the world, every business as well. Right? If I wanted to hear nonsensical ramblings, I would watch C-SPAN.
It will be above the market value. And then the value that the price that Mr. Ash going to give to the world will be a good price that all companies can use. And then all companies will profit everyone. So they can get revenue in top of what he's doing. And then those who also will use it, it will benefit their daily life, what they are doing.
And then it will also benefit the business's daily life. We're very much about benefiting daily life over here. Vincent's just all about that. That's the most important part. It's like, and then they also benefit their daily lives. Vincent looks bored. He's not really believing it anymore, but FOMO. It takes over rationality. It does. And that could be a little bit why he's not making much sense here. Because if he doesn't fully believe it, right, it's going to come out as a jumbled mess. Don't scare Vincent and tell him about on Fusion.
What they use technology for, if they use the technology for domestic use, for business use, for every aspect.
Jesus Christ, Vincent, if you list off all the ways we use technology one more time. All right, you don't have to do this 3 times in the same speech. The hell?
Of the world that they want to use it, it will stand forward for that. So this is kind of technology that Mr. Ash is building. It's not building for only one particular country or one particular people or one particular race. No, it's building on a global, for the public goods and also for the global scale. So it will be for the whole world. We're all going to use. And then top of that, the ethical side of the
Yeah, but just because he's creating it, the whole world uses it doesn't mean the whole world is going to use it. Right? Like there's people that don't use Microsoft. There's people that don't use Apple. It's like, hello, why do you think ONPASSIVE is going to show up here and take over? It's so weird.
Company, building this giant type of company, you need also to think about the ethical aspect of the business. The ethical aspect is talking about data privacy, and then you're talking also about the data security and protection. So all these aspects, Mr. Ash
You have technology in order to have data security and protection, sir.
has taken into account. So we cannot have a clean and big business.
Ricardo says the closest Vincent has ever been to technology is using a can opener. Probably.
Not talking about the data security, because data security is also great aspect, big aspect that Mr. Ashton Farah has taken into account. So all the issues that come in through the data security is that, and then is working on that. That's why we call
all the issues that happen and are coming through. The data is being worked on, and it's all about data security that's being worked on. I don't think so. I think these guys are in competition with one another to see who can talk the biggest load of BS. Maybe. So far, I think Vincent's winning.
A clean business.
I mean, Andy Burks gives him a run for his money, though.
So he's also thinking also about what happened today. We're talking about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a big topic because cybersecurity, there are so many things. If we sit here to tomorrow morning, we can talk about that. We'll not finish.
How do you talk about cybersecurity and things like that, data protection, when you literally don't even have a product? Like, I guess you could argue that you still need security in the OES, but I feel like that's not what we're talking about when Vincent and others are sitting here going on about data protection and security, right? So I'm like, you don't even know. Like, it's just so weird. I don't know how you convince yourself to do a whole speech about this when it doesn't exist. It's so interesting and fascinating to me to watch these people with like this huge disconnect almost, where they just, it's like they don't connect those dots at all. Like, wait, this can't exist because the products would have to exist in order for this to exist, right? Like, it's just so weird. And they do it so confidently. I mean, he's stumbling a little bit, but like the rest of them, like Andy Burks earlier and Gina Leva, like the way that they talk about this, they're like, we know for a fact this is how it's going to be. And it's like, but you don't, though. Especially now. Like, they don't even know what data was allegedly recovered. I have a feeling it was none. But it's like, how do you make these statements when you know, like, they don't, nothing exists over here, damn it. Nothing exists. Ocoin is the most secured currency. Yeah, because it doesn't exist. I guess you can't mess it up or steal it when it doesn't exist, okay? I mean, you got me there. That might be for real. You can't have data breaches when you have no data. This is what I'm saying. And even like, I've shown you guys the back office, which I'm going to actually do. I was going to show you the back office at the end of the stream, but maybe I'll do it right now. I gotta log in though. 1 second. But like the back office, it's not like there's a lot back there. Okay? Like it's not like it's a huge amount of data or anything like that. And I'll show you again, just to show you the back office. And then at the end, we'll go through their new update. So, like, this is it here, right? So, like, this is what we're protecting. There isn't really much to protect. And then, as you can see, like, things are broken. Like, this image is broken. Like, it's weird, you know? It's weird. Excuse me. I still feel like this isn't the OES when it went down. You know, there's things missing. We still don't have the products listed on the side anymore. But, like, this is the whole thing. So, I mean, yeah, sure, I guess you got to protect your 10-0 coin or whatever. But there isn't even really, like, any security on this. There's no, like, two-factor authentication or anything of that sort. Like, and that's the thing. If you don't even have that, then what the hell do you have? If we're talking about data protection and security, you should surely at least have two-factor authentication. Like, when you don't even have that going for the OES, is this what we should be talking about? And, like, as you can see, like I said, I don't feel like this is the OES as it went down, even when it had the products listed on the side when it first came back to us. It's missing components. And there's no longer the areas where the products get explained to us and what they are, and they were all messed up. Like, There's a lot missing. So I argue that Ash probably did not get back his data, but they probably found an older version, maybe the version before that one or something, and that's what this is. Because, yeah, it's just not. But, like, this is the only thing, I guess, that you would be protected. And like I said, going by this, I would not be doing speeches to my community if this was my platform about how they're all about data protection and security. Especially when you got like Marty telling people to log on the internet with their first and last full names. Because if they're in his chat with a moniker, he won't talk to them. Or he'll consider them a fake person. Does that sound like someone who knows anything about internet security? So it's just a weird hill to die on, you know?
So Mr. Ash Mufara is our host, and then he's also working on that as well. So like,
thank you for letting us know who the host is. Mr. Ash Mufara is our host. At least Omail is safe. My name is Ash Mufara, and I am a victim of identity theft. He probably is.
Collins was saying earlier, that's why the business is taking long, because they are all aspects, all days, everything that our society is facing, all the issues that we are facing is aware of that. And then you build that giant business according to all the issues that we are facing. And then also the business will move also through the direction of the way the technology is moving. So, and then when we use it in the ethical way. We will not use it in the wrong way. We will not use it to affect anyone. We're not using to destroy people. We are using it in a good scale, in a good way, so that when people are using.
That might be the only thing that they could say about it, is that they don't plan on using the products unethically. That's really the only thing they could speak to, is their own actions and how they would use the products, right? They don't know what these products even are going to be about, right? I was just changing everything. And they are not even aware of that, but they don't know. And they shouldn't be speaking on the data protection or security of these things, because they don't know about that. They don't know about the prices, so they can't really speak on the commissions or any of that, like I keep pointing out to Marty. Really, the only thing that they could speak on that would be somewhat honest, and I would be like, well, yeah, that's up to you, right? Is them saying something like, I promise I will use the products ethically, instead of like to hurt people. I would, for most of the people in this company, accept that and be like, okay, yeah, I don't believe that like Sherry is planning on using these products to like hack in somewhere and cause people harm or anything like that, Now, the top people in this using the products to get people to join this weird cult of personality around Ash, that's a commercial cult with ONPASSIVE, and having that harm people. Some of you might argue, well, Queen, no, they can't because of that, because they're an MLM, right? So by default, they're harming people. But again, like I point out, the people that are not Marty and Chris, and a lot of the people even in this Heroes webinar, that are lower on this food chain, if you will, that Marty definitely thinks he's up top of, they are complete victims in this MLM, right? So they're not in here for any nefarious reasons. And most of them did join for generational wealth and to help people. So you have to remember that they have good intentions. So I would be like, yeah, most of those people are probably planning on using these softwares ethically. Okay. And again, they're in control of that. They're in control of how they use the products. They are not, however, in control of the data protection or how secure these things are. And I don't trust Ash when he talks about it either, because he doesn't sound like he knows what the fuck he's talking about, okay? He really doesn't. especially when he's talking about technology. You're like, has this man ever used a computer before? Like, what is going on? So, you know, that's my case. That's my case for why maybe you should only talk about that. You know, like, I plan on saving the world with this, not using it to harm. Because, you know, I'm all about it. If you can't help them, at least don't harm them, right? I will use this crappy MLM for good, not for evil. That's right. I mean, who wouldn't want to stay on ONET all day? Me. Me. Although those five those five Indian dudes seem very, very nice. I just, you know, I don't know what to say to them. There's kind of a language barrier there, too. So I'd get bored pretty quickly. Those O-tracker links are just as stable as ever. Well, see, and this is why I say that. Because although the OES and the products had like shown back up, none of the O-tracker links came back. Okay? None of the O-trim stuff was there. And if it was like listed there, it wouldn't work when you would click on the link. Like the links didn't work. And to me, if he had recovered all the data, like this is what I mean when I say there's a lot of things missing. If he had recovered all the data for the OES, all of that stuff would have still been there. It's all connected to the OES, and wouldn't that be included? Like, it's just so bizarre to me. Right? And I don't make softwares. So I don't know how that all works, but I assume that there would be a way for it to not be included and maybe a way for it to be included as well. But I do just feel like he didn't retrieve it. O-trim saves so much time for the founders. I never understood the O-trim thing, and I don't think I ever will understand a URL shortener. Because to me, like, when I share a URL, I'm usually copying and pasting it. And so that's like 3 steps or 4 steps. I highlight the link, I right click, I hit copy, I put my cursor where I want it to go, and then I honestly press Control V because that pastes. It's easier for me to do that. Or you can right click and then press on paste. And then the URL is shared. Okay? Is it long sometimes? Yes. Will it shorten on most social medias so that it's not just this big, huge link thing like there? Yes. So I never understood it. And also, if the link's long, oh well, so it's a long link, okay? Like, and I never really understood. I guess if you're branding yourself, one might argue that then you could put like your brand in the link, because you did get to kind of pick what it would be called and what because it would be like O-trim dot whatever, and then it would be like / and then whatever name you gave it. You know, so I guess you could argue that you put your brand name there. But to me, it's just, it adds so many steps. Because in order for me to use their O-trim to trim a link, instead of me just basically copying and pasting it where I want it to go, I then have to copy the link, go to the ONPASSIVE OES, log into the OES by putting in my username and password, go into O-trim, have it open up a brand new fucking tab on my computer that I got loaded. Then I gotta go and paste the link into the O-trim area that the link goes into, right? Fill out a form, basically, and then create the trimmed link. And then I have to copy and paste it in again to share the damn thing. And I'm like, why am I doing all that when I can just do the last step? Like, you know, like what are we doing here? So I've never personally really understood, like I said, unless you're really about all your links having like your brand in it, it's really useless. And this is why that one particularly to me felt like a product that only a business might use, but not one that individuals would really want or care about. Because as I just stated, most of us are just like, why can't we just copy and paste the fucking link? Like, it makes no sense. And I'll never figure it out. I've tried to figure out, like, why do people like this so much? And again, all I can figure out is that it's the branding thing. Other than that, though, people are like, you know, I'm not using that. Hello, R&B girl. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Basically, O-Trim is like link cloaking. Well, see, and that's what I mean. Like, and I don't like it because you're not even branding yourself, because it was all like unpassive.otrim. Whatever. Like, it's all attached to unpassive first. And that's the thing. MLMs are always like, you're branding yourself. But I'm like, no, you're branding yourself as the MLM. They forgot to tell you about that part. So you're branding yourself as like Scam Chan in OnPassive. Not just as Scam Chan. Right? And I think that's why they were like, oh, and then we'll also have O domains. So then you could be like www.scamchan.com if you want. But it's like, I don't know if that won't really matter either. Because then once they go there, they're just met with an OnPassive homepage, landing page. You know, it's like, that doesn't really brand you either. But I think that's the only way that it makes sense. You don't want people taking your affiliate ID from the link. Yeah, I guess, but they would still need to, like, do your password. I mean, what are they going to do? Sign up with your affiliate link and then you get the money, I guess. So it wouldn't really, like, yeah, it's not like they can really do much harm with the affiliate link. The only time that was funny was when they would share the Zoom out using O-Trim and they wouldn't want us to get a hold of it. So then we would like get the Zoom link from the link. They didn't like that. They were like, but we use O-Trim, so you shouldn't be able to find the original. And we were like, no, we still can. Again, do they know how the damn internet works? Apparently not.
They are happy today. When I give an example of Okonet, when Okonet was there a few months ago, or maybe last year, a few years,
maybe last year or 2 years ago, Okonet was around. September 1st, 2023 is when it was launched. And I put launched in quotation marks, because it was launched into the back office of their OES, but was not launched to the public. It is not considered an actual like company launch or product launch until the general public is able to purchase it or join, for example. So, like, and these are the laws by like the FTC, the SEC, all these people that like, you know, keep track of all this stuff. They don't consider it a launch. Like, it could be a soft launch, maybe. If you're only launching it to the distributors, that's not a launch. It has to be launched to the public. There has to be a way for, like, Sammy Joe from Wisconsin to be able to click on a link and then buy the product. And that wasn't a thing yet. It was only the people that had access to the back office, which you couldn't register from, what was the date? June 2022? Or I think you were able to get into the OES after that. You just couldn't sign up as an O founder. But you were not able to log in anymore, okay? You needed to have already had a registration with the OES before the OConnect came out in order to be able to use or purchase it. So because of that, it's not really a launch. But it came out to them in the back office September 1st, 2023, and everything shut off and went down on June 27th of 2024. Marty and Chris started saying it was June 24th, and we all wondered where the hell they got that date from. Oh, it was the date that everyone would have found out that Muhammad Kamal was being investigated and in trouble for, all that stuff that we've talked about. So that's what that date was. But no, it went down June 27th, 2024. So that, technically that's not even a year ago. That's not a year ago. And it's funny to me because Vincent's like, whatever it was, I don't even know. How come I know when O Connect was around and when everything went down more than the O founders did? What's wrong with me?
So the technology inside O Connect, those are maybe system that we are using now. Like
Thomas says unpassive is really going to take off once MySpace comes back. I swear to God, it's like even with their fucking talking about making these domains, the things that they were talking about sounded like they were describing MySpace back in the day. They were like, oh, it'll be so cool. You'll be able to drag and drop and personalize everything. I was like, what is going on?
Currently, what we are using, the technology, and then the world is in those of us or those technology that we are using now, they don't have that.
Now Ash is going to buy Skype. I think about Skype a lot because I've actually used more Skype than I've used Zoom. Zoom is something that I didn't really use until I was in MLMs, actually, to be honest. My family is all about the Skype. So, back again when it was a little bit harder to talk to people online and my parents are way too boomer for social media, we used a lot of Skype to do calls with each other and video calls. And even since having my daughter, we've done Skype video calls with family and stuff. So I have more experience with Skype, and I've often wondered why they never bring up Skype. I'm like, do they not think that Skype's in the running over here? They never seem mad about Skype. They're always like, fuck Zoom. And I think it's because, again, Zoom kind of took off during the pandemic, and they feel like they should have had that fame because Ash claimed that OConnect was done, right? In October of 2020, all 50 products were done, as Joe likes to remind them of. So, it's kind of like one of those, oh, well, we could have, but we didn't because we had bigger plans. That's how they try to spin it. But, and I think that's why maybe they concentrate on Zoom instead of Skype. But I'm always kind of like, man, they always forget about Skype. It exists too, guys. Queen, 2 words, plausible deniability. Exactly.
So it will add a lot of things, so many technology for nowadays so that it can attract the whole world because it's something new. Sometimes when people go to buy a new car or new thing, they're always looking for the new thing that can attract people. They say, oh, this car, we have a GPS in this car, or this car, we have a G4, or this car, when you put your mobile phone there, automatically, my daughter new car, when she put a mobile phone, and then they start charging for her. So you don't need to plug into something. So automatically, once you put your mobile phone on this, and then the mobile phone start charging for her. I say,
oh my God, guys. One day you're going to be able to put your mobile phone down on something and it will just charge it. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have a cell phone. All right. I decided it wasn't a good idea for people to be able to get a hold of me 24/7 everywhere I am. It's not good for my mental health. I don't have a cell phone, but I'm trying to remember when was the last time I had a cell phone. Probably like 2021. And way back before that, I swear that they had this. You know, like that's been around for a while, dude. I use Skype more too. I only really use Zoom to connect with people that only use that. But Facebook and Insta still use video calling and Discord. Whatever is needed, really. Yeah, see, I prefer Discord the most out of all of the social medias because it's not at all triggering for me because I never used it when I was in MLMs. I don't like Facebook and I don't like Instagram. And if I'm on them for too much, I get like upset. Like it like triggers me. It triggers me a lot. So I just try to stay off of them and do what I have to do on them and then get the hell off as quick as possible. I'll be honest. Zoom, I ended up having to have because, as you know, Sweet, a lot of the MLMs use Zoom. So if I'm going to sit in on their calls to listen to them, I need Zoom. Same with like the Love is One call and a lot of the cults, by the way. They really like the Zoom as well. They'll either be using like the Google Hangouts or they'll be using Zoom, I feel like. So I've had to friggin' have that, but I'm not a fan of Zoom either. No way, that guy is onto something, right? Right? You know? Gmail and Yahoo Mail have video calling too. I think most platforms have their own, actually. I'm pretty sure that most do. Like, even on Messenger with Facebook, right? And Meta, like, you could argue that they've even adapted. Like, they had video calling ages ago. Back when I was a hunt, I used to video call people to try to sell them things. Or I would send them like a little video in their inbox, you know? But I was able to do that right on the Facebook. Right on the Facebook, I was able to do that back in like 2017, 2018, 2016 when I was using the Facebook. So, like, that's what I mean whenever they're like, and then you'll be able to video call people. So you guys didn't invent video calling. That's been around forever. Forever, Vincent. Same with these phone charging things.
Wow, that's a new technology. So this is the kind of thing, business that Mr. Ash is doing it for us. So a lot of people will be shocked because the technology and then what he has put in there will be surprised. So like you always say, we only know maybe 5 or 1 or 2% of what is coming. What? So we should, I think it will be more surprised. And then a lot of things are coming. And then most of the thing that he's doing is based on the recent technology. Even some of the technology that we don't know.
So wait, okay, so hold on. So in this stream that they've done, this Heroes webinar on the second Sunday, they've talked a lot about how everyone's stealing from Ash, but then Vincent comes on here and does a big old rant about how Ash is making sure that he's using all of the latest technology, which then implies that that technology exists before Ash. And then I just got whiplash again, is what happened. Ash recovered all of the AOL CDs for free internet for all the founders. MLMs all think they invented things, like when ACN had their video landlines and FaceTime already existed. That's right. Exactly.
We are not aware of that. Mr. Ash is aware, and then he's bleeding. So we'll go a lot of surprise. It's coming soon. I don't have more to say, but we'll be surprised for what is coming, because what is coming is greater than us. So this is the business, and then this is the technology that is talking. In terms of technology, someone is aware of that. And then also
the type of technology. Someone is aware of that. What? Who? What are they going to do about it? What do you mean?
Good leadership top of him as well. And then he knows also the issues like data security, protection, and also data privacy, all of that.
Oh, that is not your issues, sir. You only knew the issues ONPASSIVE has.
All the issues, the world issues that are coming through the technology, cyber security is know that, and then it will work through on this show. So
it's like he really honed in on Minute's definition, didn't he?
that will be happy, and then the whole world, the globe will be happy for the technology that Mr. Ash is putting down. So we'll be also very proud to be part of this business, because when we use the technology and then people see, oh, this is great, this is nice, this is massive.
When have you been using this technology? It's been gone since June 27th. He's like, when we use the technology, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. I don't remember, but I feel like they've never really had a this is great moment. Like, even when OConnect came out, they end up having to explain to people how to like get into it and use it. And because they wait until it shows up to do that, it kind of kills some of the excitement when it comes out, if that makes sense. And this is what I mean when I'm like, Ash can't even like release a damn product, right? He does nothing correctly. He does everything wrong. So it's not like before it comes out, there's some instruction and things are explained. No. What happens is it comes out, people go to try to use it. They don't know how. And then they end up having all these issues trying to explain to people how to go use it. And so everyone kind of being like, yay, this new product's here. Let's all jump on a video call. That excitement kind of got killed a little bit, right? By people being like, okay, so what you want to do is you want to log into the back office, and then you're going to go to OConnect, and then this is how you buy it. Because that was another thing when the OConnect came out, was there was the buying it, there was the payment processor issues. So if you guys remember, there was those windows that they were allowed to pay. There's just always a lot of problems. And it's almost like even with all of the OES login things, right? When they've had to switch to the new OES from the old one and all of that happening. All of that was all supposed to also be like really exciting, great times. But even with that, it was like, yay, we got a new OES. Let's all go log in. Oh, no, wait. No one can log in. Oh, wait. There's issues with the login. Oh, wait. Now we need to explain to everyone how to log in. And then we spent months just talking about how to log in. Do you remember that? It got to the point where we literally thought that ONPASSIVE telling us how to log in was going to kill me, because I was like, if I have to listen to this one more time, okay? It was like, that's all they were talking about, is this is how you log into the OES. I was like, oh my God, not again. But doing that, it kills that like rush and that excitement, you know? You know, and I feel like that happened with the OConnect a lot. You're being misled, Vincent. I hope you get out soon. Me too, sweet. Wrinkles are the best ONPASSIVE product. It's funny because, like, if you've noticed, he's using issues, problems. So's everyone else lately. They haven't been using that language. They've dropped apples and wrinkles. It's like, oh no, we're going rogue. ONPASSIVE is the dial-up of MLMs. Ain't that the truth?
Even people will be happy to say, oh, I'm also part of that. I'm part. Say, really? So this is the big surprise that we will be all happy.
I was early! Like, whoa, Vincent, calm down.
Proud to be part of this business because of the technology and then the issue that Mr. Ash is putting in place. Thank you, Peter.
Well, thank you, Vincent. You covered a hell of a lot of stuff there. You covered really a lot of stuff in a short few minutes.
That's why I had to get Peter's reaction, because even he was like, what the fuck was that? Wow, you've covered a lot of stuff there. Really, a lot of stuff. What the hell? How do I follow up this? Because usually then he summarizes kind of what the person said and talks about how great that point was. And then he'll go on to the next person, right? So that was great. That was great. 10 minutes of rambling from Vincent. I still have very little clue what he said other than what I've stated as we've gone through it. There was a lot where I'm like, huh? What does that mean? So I thought that that would be fun to do. It's been a while since we hit up the Heroes webinar. And the last several times we've hit up the Heroes webinar, they've been really like bland, boring, drabbing, kind of like draining. But they are important, those ones, because of course if I'm talking about how this thing is a cult, when they're being all culty, it's often during the Hero or OTech Pros webinars, by the way. It's like, yeah, we got to show those moments too. But this week's I found was kind of silly, kind of fun. There was a lot of coping, a lot of like weird, like they're stealing stuff from us. You know, Gene threatened them with legal action. I'm telling you, that one kills me. I died. I almost spit out a damn drink when I was watching that the first time. And I heard her say that. I was like, oh my God, please do get Ash to do that. That would make my life. That would be so much fun for us over here. Gene, talk him into it. But yeah, it's just a lot of interesting themes from this Heroes. So I felt like, especially after we've been getting a little serious on this channel the last couple days, you know, it was time to just sort of have a good little laugh. And I felt like that was a good way to do it. So I hope that you guys had fun with that. Craig the press is up for those Dear There letters. That's right. Speaking of letters, I haven't done an update on this yet. And I'm so sorry. I feel so late now with this. But there is a new update in the back office. Yeah, they finally updated it from New Year's Day. I'm so excited. So obviously now I have to share it with all of you. So you'll see there, it's flashing. Have you seen the latest? Read more. And this was actually put up on February 28th, but I realized like I haven't updated you guys with this. So it says, have you seen the latest? Get up to speed now. Watch this update video. And then what's interesting is they put a Redfern recap, which I was like, huh? Is Red working his way back in there? Will the 360 come back? Ash not that mad at him anymore? Interesting. And then they have it in Hindi and French. And then it says, till next time, with a winky smiley face that no one's seen since 1998. Stay around. And if you're wondering what this is, what this video is, when I click on it, it is, of course,
it's good training. But what matters more is how do we go forward from here?
It's the speech with Ash. The funny thing is, it doesn't start at the beginning. It's time-stamped.
Slippery it is and muddy out there. Look around.
To start at a very specific part. It's all black. My screen is black. Oh no, why is my screen black? Oh no, do you not see it? I don't know why it would be black. That's weird. Is it black right now? Oh, no, it was perfect. Okay, that was weird. So wait, you guys didn't see this then? You see this? You see this now? Because allegedly last time it was black. This is the update. This is the update here. It says, have you seen the latest? Get up to speed now. Watch this update video, Red Redfern recap. You don't see anything. Okay. So you're telling me that when I go to share the back office, you do not see it, is what you're telling me. Did you see it the last time? Because there was like 2 times. That's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. That's bizarre. That's bizarre. All right, well, fine then. Fine then. I'll have to do it another way. That's fine. I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. Do you see this? Some unpassive people tried to bully me in a Facebook group. Well, that's not good. That's not good. I'm not going to restart my computer. I'm not going to stop and restart my computer. If you guys couldn't see it, I would say, all right, you're just going to have to take my word for it that that's what it says. Because I literally am at the end of the stream. I am not going to start up a new stream to read the back office to you. I'm sorry. It isn't that important. There isn't really much to be said. As you can see, it really just says, have you seen the latest? Get up to speed now. Number 1, watch this update video with a link. Then it has number 2, the Red Redfern recap. And at the time I said, basically, that it's interesting that Red Redfern is mentioned here. Because, you know, he's got into a fight with Ash and Marty and Chris and was no longer included in the in-group. So it's interesting that he's there. And then they have a Hindi version. And then they also have a French version, which is kind of funny. I guess those are the main languages spoken at ONPASSIVE. I guess they're trying to say that. And then they also just have this little message at the bottom that says, till next time, with a winky smiley face that I haven't seen since 1998. And then it says, stay around. Yay! You know? Yay! Stay around. And then the link, if you click on the link that it leaves you, and of course we'll go to the English one. Because I don't know what you guys saw now and what you did not see. So let me know it. Do you see this? Do you see this? So they have the link, but it's for this very specific timestamp, and it is at 5 minutes and 16 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I will share it in the chat, but it's really just the last time that Ash Mufara came on. That's all they're sharing. Except the first 5 minutes and 16 seconds is gone. Like, I guess they don't want us to hear that, so they have it start. Because when you share a link on YouTube, you can choose to have it play at a specific timestamp. So they were like, yeah, no, just start at the 5 minute mark here. And I just found it kind of interesting and kind of funny There isn't much that he talks about in the first 5 minutes. It's just funny that they're like, you can just skip this. Instead of just sharing the link to start at the beginning, they were like, but don't worry about the first 5 minutes. And I don't know. I guess their screen sharing is not working on StreamYard right now. I'll have to let them know. But I've shared the link in the chat, so if you want to go and click on it because you don't believe me, and you're like, sure, Queen, I'm sure the link really starts at 5 minutes and 16 seconds, you big liar. No, there's the link. Click on it, and it's the same link that's in the back office. So it should lead you to that. And that's really it. That's everything. That's their big announcement. Their big announcement is go and watch Ash the last time he was on, which, as we know, wasn't even an announcement. So I'm very proud that on the 28th of February, they updated us. But I'm still kind of like, that wasn't an update either, though. That was just you sharing links to go hear Ash ramble on the same that he's been saying pretty much since the site went down, on June 27th. So it's just funny. Well, the funny thing is that in the link, like, you can rewind it and watch the beginning, right? The link is the full stream of just Ash's part on there, But for some reason, they're like, started at 5 minutes, 16 seconds. And I was like, that's weird. Why would they do that? That's weird. And I also think it is fascinating that Red Redfern is mentioned again in the back because, I didn't think he was on good standing. Maybe he's making his way back into the good graces. We'll have to see how that goes. That will be interesting to watch. Maybe that's why he's been a little happier lately. I don't know. But I guess his Red Redfern recap. There's just a lot of R's in that. Red Redford recap is super duper important. So they wanted to make sure everyone in ONPASSIVE went and watched it. But this is what I mean by like the chosen like YouTubers as well, which Honest Critic calls copytubers. It's like there are specific people that will get shared in the back office with a link. And those people are getting more from ONPASSIVE and from being a part of this thing than your usual typical founder in ONPASSIVE. And it's like they don't remember that either. Like they get AdSense, they get views and some money coming in every month, and their content is all ONPASSIVE, nothing else ever. And hasn't been for many of them. For a lot of them, ONPASSIVE is their only content ever. They didn't even do YouTube until ONPASSIVE, right? But it's like they all have that, and that's something to kind of look forward to, I guess, every day with ONPASSIVE. But it's like most people are just waking up every day, checking the back office, seeing that there's nothing, and then they just have to listen to people talk to them in webinars. And in my opinion, that would be real fucking boring. Mind you, you guys listen to me every day, so what do I know? Anyways, that's all. That's it for me today. Thank you for hanging out here with me to go through that. I felt like it was a lot to go through on Friday. I didn't want to save it for then. And we just kind of needed to blow off some steam today. Because tomorrow we might have to get a little bit serious again because we're going to be talking about Dr. Benny. Yes, we are. We're going to be deep diving Dr. Benny. Who is this Dr. Benny person? That is not only in ONPASSIVE, but also in Vibe. And they want you to
stop going there.
To Vibe. They're very upset still about Vibe taking their people, right? And cross-promoting, as you heard. So I feel like it's important for us to get to know Dr. Benny a little bit, And there's some things that we need to talk about. Some serious things we need to discuss when it comes to her. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow. Pay attention to the community tab. It will be posted on there as soon as I set it up. Probably around the same time in the afternoon, So look for it. Also, go read the community tab, please. Every single Monday, I'm going to be speaking out about a multi-level marketing cult, and the rest of the week, I hope to be speaking out about other cults or doing other fun things and stuff to do with cult education on the community tab, you know, where I go through the manipulation tactics, the theories about cults, and, you know, why people believe that people stay in cults. And I'm trying to write all of the theories. All right, if I post about a theory, I'm not necessarily saying this is the theory I'm going with and this is what I believe, but I'm saying these are the theories. Here is all of the information I could provide to you to teach you what I can about cults and every single thing to do with them and their manipulation tactics and psychology, you know. And again, if you're given all this information and educational sources and all that, hopefully then you can kind of take from that what you need to in order to get an understanding of why these people in ONPASSIVE have been sitting here for 7 years waiting around for nothing. You know, or why people in other cults end up staying in other cults. Because in this day and age, almost all of us know somebody who is in a cult, believe it or not. So look forward to doing more of that. And I hope you guys are finding that helpful. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have an amazing, fabulous rest of your day. I love all of your faces. Thank you for hanging out with me. And like always, we're in it to win it. Take it away, Mr. Level. Bye.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a cult. Hey.
And I'm your friend. And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was Screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the questions on religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them all morning long. It's not the answer you want.
Yeah.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Alright, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune into Crazy talking about your experiences.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Ashley Potter.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's down there.
My name is Ashley Potter, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Gaia.